Now broadcasting, baby. All right, and then I'll add, whoops, visual. I thought it was infidelity, so I'm going to change that. I should have probably did that before, but whatever. Now it's at the smooth 60.
On the south side. Gotta remember to check it out.
Right. And then I'm going to try and share the link on Twitter before... Oh, God! Oh! Twitter? I just knocked my freaking controller right off my hand. Or off my leg, because it was resting on my leg. Holy smokes. I just tried to grab for my phone. I literally launched the controller on the side of the couch. Oh, man.
Hey, thank God it didn't go flying.
You know what? This is getting a bit annoying with all these cars honking. For whatever reason, I don't know why they're honking when Spider-Man's at a lamppost on the top, so I'm going to go on a rooftop. They're having bad traffic problems down there.
Alright.
And there's a crime, which we will solve soon. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live stream out of nowhere. But it is technically not out of nowhere because we're going to be playing some more of the remaster while talking / discussing about Spider-Man 3, the movie, of course. No, I'm kidding. Well, actually, no, because it's the third MCU movie. I was trying to make a joke, like Amazing Spider-Man 2, Into the Spider-Verse 2. No, of course not. No Way Home, of course, is the topic of discussion. Let's see here. Before we actually get into our in-depth discussion with my boy, Franco Greco, of course, here from the Spidey Squad, is also up here.
Hey everybody, my name's Franco. I'm one of the partners of the Spidey Squad and joined by this beautiful, sexy guy right here, my man Evan. Thank you so much for having me on.
I can't compete with Franco's sexiness. Everyone knows this. It's
please.
Uncomparable.
If there's one like absolutely gorgeous man in the entire world, I'm talking to him right now.
Please. I can't even rival Franco's sexiness. That's very kind of you to say. But yes, we're here talking about the leak, which is not, by the way, no like charity live stream or anything this time, even though we would love to. We always try and do it whenever we can. This is more for fun. Discussing this crazy leak / news / overall thoughts before we even see the trailer, which is said to come out tonight, supposedly, after CinemaCon. So we will see whether or not we'll live up to expectations, which I know a lot of people are excited. And again, all of my thoughts about this is never to diminish your own excitement. I hate it when people are like, Evan's so freaking negative all the time, dude. What an idiot. He only cares about Insomniac and nothing else. Like, dude, there's a thing called an opinion, and people don't really seem to understand that. So it's like, if they are excited, I'm happy for people who are excited. I am personally concerned, or at least skeptical about how it's going to turn out, and that's all it is. So if you're excited, everyone in the chat, everyone watching at home, happy for you. I'm very, very pleased that you have that amount of excitement for this movie. Don't let me sway your opinion in any way. I'm just providing my own thoughts about what we currently know about the movie, what I'm expecting, even though we already know the trailer, which, by the way, I did see the leaked trailer. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, I did, in fact, fully watch the leaked trailer, and I'm assuming the trailer we will see tonight supposedly is going to be the same thing, just with updated visuals. I'm assuming. They might have a little tiny extra scene here and there, but I think for the most part it's going to be the exact same stuff. And give my thoughts about it, because, man, there's a lot to go over. Some of it good, some of it bad. Most of it sucks. I'm kidding. Most of it's kind of like skeptical, again, like questioning, like, what is happening here? So like
a mixed bag, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's not like, this is disgustingly bad. John Watts is #1 enemy, public #1 rival. He's sinner to the max. No, it's nothing like that, even though I very much dislike Far From Home. It's more like, what are we doing here, John Watts? What is the vision that you have for this movie? So while we're waiting for more people, 100 people in the stream, by the way. What's up, everybody? I did see our fellow boys, Blasty Games and News to Astonish. Go follow and subscribe to both of them. They're amazing people. But yes, welcome everybody. We're just kind of getting situated here still. I'm going to try and share the stream. I do see it is online on YouTube. Leave a like, by the way, if you're enjoying. I would appreciate it. Share it. That would also be appreciated too. And hopefully you're all having a wonderful Monday afternoon while we're waiting for this trailer to officially drop. So, let's see.
Michael, in the chat,
boy,
what's going on,
Spidey
bro?
Stretch, and also Spidey Outcast. Michael and Andrew, both the main boys. What's up?
What's going on, boys?
Currently live streaming more. I'll do hashtag Spider-Man PS5. Discussing the leaked No Way Home trailer. I'll do Spider-Man No Way Home in the hashtag so people can actually see the post, I think. But while I'm sharing this...
Let us know...
yes.
Yeah, you okay,
oh, no, you
chat,
go, Franco, sorry.
Okay, yeah. No, I just want to ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, chat, what would you say, like, your hype level is right now? 1 being, I'm not very excited, oh, I know this movie is going to be bad, or, like, 10, like, oh my god, this is going to be, like, probably, like, the best movie ever made?
That's a good question. So for me, here's, like, my rankings of the other, like, appearances, right? So I think we can all agree, I'd be shocked if this was a hot take, but I think we can all agree the best time we saw Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU wasn't even in his own movie. It was in Civil War,
You might have heard about the
which
robbery.
is,
No, I agree with that.
like, crazy and cool at the same time, because it was the first way that we saw Spider-Man team up with these other Marvel heroes in a movie that wasn't his own. But at the same time, it's so weird when, like, because again, those movies, when he's, like, with the Avengers, were all directed by the Russo brothers. Joe and Anthony Russo, right? And you can tell on how much of a big gap there is between how he's narratively portrayed in those Avengers movies compared to his own standalone movies when he's directed by John Watts, but mainly written by, I think it's the same writers who wrote the Ant-Man the Wasp movie, if I'm not mistaken. So it's the same people who wrote those movies, or that movie. Did they also write the first Ant-Man movie? Because I actually do like the first Ant-Man movie. Ant-Man the Wasp was okay, but
I don't know.
It wasn't as like, oh, this was great, because I was really actually a big fan of the first Ant-Man movie. But it's so like a big gap when you see how the Russos portray their Spider-Man compared to kind of like we got some backtracking with how he's portrayed in his own individual movies with Homecoming, but mainly from Far From Home, because Far From Home was like a big, like, jump the shark pretty much with what they did. By the way, Franco's a genius because he helped me fix the audio of the game, so I think now you're able to actually hear the game's audio while we're in a party with Franco at my side and the game at the same time. We're going to start playing soon, don't worry. Still trying to share this.
Yeah, just...
overall thoughts before the trailer officially drops. I'll do hopefully in parentheses later tonight, because it's not officially confirmed. All we're hearing is like hearsay and like, is it actually going to drop tonight? We don't know for sure. I think it will.
Well, I mean,
CinemaCon.
I mean, like a lot of big, like, you know, like trusted sources really like said, like, from what they heard, it is coming tonight or maybe tomorrow morning.
I would think tomorrow morning. Although they did do that Eternals trailer at like midnight, so who knows? Just gonna leak the trailer. My overall thoughts before the trailer officially drops. Hopefully later tonight. Spice Squad. Boom. Okay. Sorry that took so long. I had to tweet out. Yes.
No, it literally came out at 3 o'clock in the morning for me. The Eternals trailer.
That was insane. Like you guys know me, and this is not like a hot take, but I've said numerous times that I'm more of a gamer than a cinephile. Like I appreciate games more than movies. Oh, I didn't even see. Donation from our boy Ronnie. News to astonish. Oh boy, people are going to be all over you about the thoughts on No Way Home. It's going to be Far From All over again. Oh my God, Ronnie, you have no idea how people reacted to my Far From Home review. Holy smokes! And I love how they try and like quote that review of like me saying like, for example, like John Watts should work at Target. Fun fact, that was my dad who said that, and he was joking. Like obviously we have no ill intentions towards John Watts as a creator or director. We just found that funny because we really didn't like Far From Home. So he was making a joke, but still, I totally understand where the people are coming from. But yes, oh my God, when No Way Home drops, I know I'm going to get flagged so badly online. I can tell already from people. Like, if I don't love it after seeing the main trailer, then yeah, it's going to be a problem. All right, and by the way, yes, we are streaming. And by the way, I should probably turn the game audio down because I know that's going to be a bit loud when we're streaming. I'll do 7 for now. Maybe 8, because 7 might be a bit too low. All right, that's better. So now you guys should be able to hear me, Franco, and the game's audio properly. And yes, we're going to be wearing the Far From Home / Homecoming / even the other movie suits during the stream, so no advanced suit. Sadly, I know that's blasphemy for me, but we're going to wear it to celebrate the movie coming out, or at least the trailer coming out soon.
Are you okay, man?
Oh, and this is the side mission where I'm in the Easter egg. My name. So we're going to find my Easter egg on stream. That'll be fun.
Well, listen.
Let's see. Yeah, like, what was it? Yeah, Ronnie, my God. Because Ronnie and I have done live streams in the past several times because he's a genius and he's super kind and awesome. And definitely go follow him, subscribe to him as well. But we did, like, our stream talking about, like, Marvel Spider-Man 2 coming out, what we think could that be done for that game and its story and gameplay.
Okay.
And also No Way Home. And I was telling Franco before we started the stream is, I called it. I knew this was going to happen, this exact scenario that was going to be occurring, that's happening right now. I knew it was going to happen no matter what, and it is for a fact happening. So this is a multiverse movie that we knew was going to happen because Alfred Molina pretty much confirmed he's Doc Ock, but he's the same Doc Ock from the Raimi movies, the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi movies. But all the talk I see online, and I've seen the leaked trailer, I've seen the leaked photos, by the way, the screenshots of Norman Osborn, Doc Ock, and Jamie Foxx Electro, and what they look like in the movie. So I've seen all the leaked stuff. So I will be sure to react, though, to like the HD trailer tomorrow to give my official thoughts, and see what the final, close to final product looks like versus the very unfinished looking CG that we saw in the leaked trailer. But I call this was going to happen in that everyone that's online right now who's talking about No Way Home, are they talking about Tom Holland's Spider-Man and his story? Are they talking about, like, his villains, for example? Because for right now, I have not seen a single villain that's his own unique individual villain from his universe. No, it's not. It's talking about Tobey returning as Spider-Man, it's talking about Andrew returning as Spider-Man, and it's talking about Alfred Molina and Willem Dafoe returning as the villains, as Doc Ock and Green Goblin. So none of this relates to Tom Holland's story whatsoever. And it's like, yeah, we'll learn more about it when we see the movie itself. But it's like, are you guys, like, not seeing what I'm seeing, or at least not understanding, like, my point of view in the way that it's like, I get it, if you just want to see, like, a fun multiversal movie and have them team up and fight enemies together from different universes, fine, whatever. That's personally not the movie I wanted to see. Fun fact, Scorpion still exists in this universe. So we have not heard a peep from my man Michael Mando from Better Call Saul, who's amazing, and even Voss from Far Cry 3. You got him as Scorpion, and he's not even being used to his max, like, at all. It's like, what are we doing? It's like, I do not know what the real angle
that he
here
existed.
is. They did! They totally forgot he existed. Now, if they bring him in the movie as Scorpion, great, but, like, you understand, like, okay, here's the thing. I love these movies. Like, Tom Holland in MCU for Civil War is great. I liked Homecoming for aspects of it because it was kind of a coming-of-age story with Spider-Man, and minus the Iron Man mentor stuff, which wasn't as massive there as it was, like, really shoved down your throat. Like, I gotta live up to Iron Man. I really gotta live up to Tony Stark. After they already kind of had him go through that arc in Homecoming, they just repeated the same thing in Far From Home. But I love, Franco knows this, Spider-Man 1, the 2002 Tobey movie, is my personal favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. And it doesn't have to do with Tobey. It has nothing to do with the other actors, because I love all the actors who portray Spider-Man, because they each portray him in a different way that can relate to several different people, which is fine. But I like it because it's a well-written narrative, and it just has a really good portrayal of Peter Parker, and also the villains of, mainly with Green Goblin. The villain, singular, not villains, but the main villain of that movie is Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. And if they're coming back in this movie as the same versions who already died, because they both died in their own respective movies. In Spider-Man 1, Norman literally got skewered with his glider, and Doc Ock drowned at the end, and Alfred Molina's out here saving all of us from, like, theories and stuff. Like, he's just telling us the truth. Like, oh yeah, John Watts told me that my story picks off right after I drowned. So it's like, what are you talking about? So he's already out here giving us the full scoop for Doc Ock. You don't need a leak to do any of that. He's just giving it himself. And that was revealed months ago. So I don't know why people are like, Evan, they're variants. They're the same person. They're played by the same actor, but they're not the same versions. Like, you're literally wrong, because he said the exact opposite ages ago. So I don't know what people are talking about. But no, like, multiverse stuff, like, I guess.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, he was still, like, under the control, here's what doesn't make sense, is that, he freed himself from the control of the arms that was mind controlling him, and then, like, he drowns, and then they somehow say, oh, it picks off right after him. Then how does he become evil again? the arms are not controlling him anymore.
Yeah, dude, like what? Like you're
arm?
like, and again, if this is like what so the theory is, what some people are having, is that if they're
like
in this
he's a
movie,
variant?
and this is all, by the way, spoilers. I should actually, you know what, Franco? That's actually what I forgot to say in the title of the stream is spoilers. But this should be obvious. Spoilers. I mean, well, it kind of says it. Leaked trailer discussion and thoughts. So we're going over the leaked trailer and our thoughts about the trailer. So that already kind of gives it away. But if you don't want to see or hear, I guess, anything about the movie before the official trailer comes out, then, you know, hop off the stream and then wait until the movie shows the trailer and then come back here, because the same trailer that's going to release tonight is most likely the same trailer that leaked, just with more finished visual effects. Again, I could be totally wrong. It could be a completely different trailer, but I don't think so. And that's not fake in any way. There's no way that trailer is fake. It's 100% real, because you see scenes being acted out with Tom Holland and Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch talking to each other. He's kind of telling Peter, like, you know, like, oh, I got this spell that I can do to remove people's memories of you being Spider-Man, but it's going to be everybody. You know, he's like, well, wait, no, can't some people know? Like Aunt May and Ned, my best friend, and MJ? But it's like, no, it's you know, it's totally like, in a way, which is very odd, in a way, it's a little bit like One More Day in live action, which kind of baffles me. Like, I'm actually shocked that of all the Spider-Man stories they could have told, Kraven's Last Hunt, Spider-Man Blue, maybe even some of the Ultimate stuff, One More Day! Let's get One More Day up in here. And now Aunt May doesn't die yet, but, or it gets shot, you know, but it's like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. And, I saw someone I just saw on the stream. Let me see here.
I love it when a plan falls apart.
I missed it.
Hey, Carmen. Your husband's pal and his team just had their trip to beautiful Atlantic City canceled.
Nice job, Carmen. By the way, shoot, well, I wasn't able to go and look at the Easter egg because I was talking about Far From Home. But my Easter egg was there. My name, the Evan F. Easter egg, was on that banner, which was very cool. There it is. Sorry, Ella Deanna. It's incredible he doesn't read the comments. Sorry. If you guys know me, I literally never stream. It's only like necessary to stream, like a moment like this. But I do try and read the comments, but there's so many at once, and I'm also just trying to focus on the game at the same time while reading chat. So I gotta multitask better. That's an L for me. That's a total L on my end. But I appreciate every single one of you who leaves a comment and just a thumbs up, or just even if you disagree with me. And I appreciate that, because that way you're being honest, which I would rather have you guys be honest and open about your own critical thoughts and opinions about something you like or dislike, versus than just agreeing with it off the bat. So if you are someone who disagrees with me about any of my opinions, I actually welcome it, and I very much appreciate your honesty and genuine intent, as long as you're respectful, of course. Like, if you're just being like a jerk and not like, you know, you're wrong, whatever, like, no, like, come on, like, we're all friends here, guys. It's all from a place of respect and warm intent. But it's all just about whether or not the movie itself will be okay to portray the narrative in a manner that makes sense. And there's so much I'm trying to talk about, too, like all the stuff I'm trying to keep in my brain, like, to talk about this trailer. Well, Franco, let's start with you, because you're here. Why don't you give us your thoughts? I mean, did you see the leaked trailer, and you kind of saw it for yourself? What do you think about where this... And just your other thoughts on, like, the previous films
right.
that build up to this, with Homecoming and Far From Home, but also the Avengers stuff.
Okay, so how about, let's start from the beginning, like, before we get to No Way Home stuff. So,
Yes.
My opinion on Homecoming is that, you know, I thought it was, you know, fine, you know, I have my gripes with it, but overall I thought it was a pretty solid film, and then Far From Home, I felt like they did, like, some things good with the character, and then I felt like at some parts, you know, like, it's just, I didn't like. And then, after watching the leaked trailer, I actually am excited for this film. I just hope that, you know, like, it can do, like, balance all these characters right, and, like, make sure that, you know, it doesn't, like, get in the way of, like, trying to, like, have one person overshadow the other.
Right.
And, like, I just hope, you know, like, everybody has, like, a well-written story, you know, like they have, like, proper explanations, and not just, oh, somehow Palpatine returned.
I know, dude! Exactly!
Somehow Doc Ock returned, or somehow...
Oh my god.
But I know, I have faith, though, that they can pull it off. I just hope that, you know, it's just executed right. Is all
exactly.
I
They're
just
gonna
hope
pull a
that they
freaking
can
Rise
do.
of Skywalker and just say like, which I don't understand why people are like it's okay if you're excited for them to return. Like, of course I love Toby. I even love Andrew. Seeing them together on screen, like in ages, is gonna be cool regardless. Like, if you're a fan of all the Spider-Man movies, you're gonna love this. Narratively, does it make sense? I personally don't think so. I think it's just more like fan service bait in a way. And you're totally right. Like, it's the same exact thing. Like, Palpatine is a great Star Wars villain. Kylo Ren wasn't really cutting it as a villain, and his story was kind of a little bit haphazardly handled because of J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson kind of, waffling the ball around and not really knowing what direction to go. So they just kind of did like a hybrid of both in Rise of Skywalker, and they're like, you know what, people love Palpatine. Let's just bring Palpatine back, this old villain who literally had no reason to be in that movie. To just bring him back because fan service, because people love Palpatine. Do it. We got Spider-Man, do it. Exactly the same thing, dude. Like, it's the same thing. Like, get Toby in here, do it. Like pizza time. Like, if you just gotta come in and say that, like, oh, he said the thing, right? And it's just not working for me because it does not connect in any way to the other story they were telling with, like, him becoming out of Tony's shadow, not trying to be an Avenger, but then he is an Avenger. And then with this, it's like, okay, what if they had the same ending with Far From Home, with Mysterio, and he shows at the end Peter Parker's Spider-Man, and he has to deal with these results, right? So he's like, oh my god, my identity's out there in the public, everyone now knows I'm Spider-Man, but instead of doing a one more day thing in the Doctor Strange route, trying to, like, get him to mind wipe everybody and retcon the entire universe, which is exactly what he's gonna do, it's more like, what if they build up what they set up in Homecoming, where his identity's on the public, oh my god, Scorpion knows who he is now, and same thing with Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton, and Michael Mando, they're in that prison together, Rikers, and what if they team up, and he's like, I know some other guys, right? I know the other guys who would love to get at him, to know who he is, because he's like, he says that word for word in Homecoming. He's like, I would love, and my guys would love to get back at this punk, this Spider Kid, if you knew who he was. And what if his identity got there in public, and instead of doing this crazy Into the Spider-Verse live-action movie, just have Scorpion team up with the other Sinister Six members that are in the universe, not the other villains from the other films, but, like, bring in
smart, but
Scorpion, right? Like, I don't know, other villains who can be used in this universe that actually make sense in a way that can go up against Spider-Man in the universe of Tom Holland. Not just like a multiverse thing for the sake of multiverse stories, but also just do like an in-universe stuff to expand the lore of Tom's universe. You know what I mean? Like Michael Mando, Scorpion, right? Michael Keaton, Vulture. Even Jared Leto, Morbius. Well, if he's one of the people. Third one there. Tom Hardy, Venom. Right. If they want to bring in the Sony movies with the MCU stuff, which it looks like they're trying to do. So you have 4 right there, right off the bat. You have 2 more you can add in. And if you want, you could redo a villain like Doc Ock and have it be like the MCU version of Doc Ock. But don't get like Alfred Molina to be a version that's already been done. Get like another actor to play him. Like people I've seen, like I've seen 2 choices, one of which I really think would be great. The other one's like a fan cast, which I don't necessarily know would work too well. One is Mark Hamill, which would be cool, and he's an amazing voice actor and main actor, in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker. But I think he might be not really well suited as much for a live action Doc Ock. But the second choice, which I actually think could kind of work, and I'm not crazy about this because he has done some serious stuff. Just watch a James Gunn movie, Super, is Rainn Wilson. Rainn Wilson as Dr. Octopus would actually be an interesting choice. And if you were setting him up in this universe, that would actually be interesting to do, because it connects more to Tom and his world. But if you have, like, all this multiverse stuff, then it loses focus on the real thing that's happening. Like, do you, honestly, again, this is a genuine question in the chat for you guys watching and listening. Are you, mainly, when you watch the movie, No Way Home, in theaters, December 17th, which is I think the date it's set to release, are you going to care the moment you see Or are you gonna care anything about Tom Holland Spider-Man? The moment you see frickin' Toby and Andrew talking to Tom Holland on screen together, is your brain gonna be thinking, oh, MCU Spider-Man 4, you know, the next movie after No Way Home, because Tom Holland, I think, is scheduled to do more stuff after this? No. No. You're gonna be thinking Spider-Man 4, you're gonna be thinking Amazing Spider-Man 3, you're gonna be thinking, when does Toby get his own movies, and you know, Sam Raimi comes back to direct. And then you're going to get the whole Raimi army back on that, because that's exactly what's going to happen, dude. Like, it's not even a crazy theory, because that's exactly what could happen.
Now that I know I'm after
So, I don't know, man. And it's like, I see people like Rainn Wilson. What? Yeah, I know it's a crazy pick. I know it's insane. I know it sounds ridiculous. Dwight from The Office, what are you talking about? I know, but he's done some actual serious stuff before, kind of like Bill Hader. By the way, watch the show Barry with Bill Hader. Excellent show. I don't know if Bill Hader works as Doc Ock, but I'm just saying, like, comedic actors from sometimes can actually do some serious roles, and Rainn Wilson is no exception. Like, he's actually a really good actor.
Nice. Stuck the land.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. And again, this is all my opinion. This isn't to diminish your hyper excitement, or if you're someone who's totally hyped for Tom's story, I'm very happy for you. More power to you. I'm just very concerned about how this is going to be played out by the time they're all together on screen. Oh yeah, I got to power this jukebox, this breaker box.
Jukebox. What, he's going to start breakdancing?
Hit the tunes, Jefferson. Let's go. He's going to do dancing, bro. Man, you see?
But yeah, no, like, overall...
Even Jefferson.
Yeah, no,
oh yeah,
like,
sorry, Franco.
But,
yeah, go.
No, but like, final words, like, I'm excited. I'm hyped. All I hope is it's just executed right. That's all I ask for. But overall, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm very excited.
That's exactly like the same logic applies to my thoughts of like. I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but this is like the best way I think my audience, who's mainly about the games, because I think we can all admit, you guys are aware now that I'm a gamer. I think I don't have to keep saying that. I'm mainly a gamer more than a movie lover, so I appreciate like these games more than the films. Even though Tobey's my favorite live action Spider-Man, because I love the first movie the most, my favorite Spider-Man period is actually the game version with Yuri Lowenthal. So I think that's clear to all you guys right now. So this is not like, oh, this other movie's version is better and this other movie version sucks. No, it's like it's more about how they can utilize the medium in which they're telling the story in to its max potential in order to convey a narrative that properly showcases Spider-Man in the best way for what he's set in. So, for example, with The Face. Again, I hate bringing this up, but The Face for Peter Parker. Like, I love these games. I love these Studio of Insomniac and PlayStation. But I don't know if that visual portrayal of Peter Parker does the narrative justice that they're telling, because it doesn't reflect what they're telling us. He's 23, 24 years old, been Spider-Man for 8 to 9 years, and yet he looks like he's still youthful compared to how John Bubniak looks. So that's more about setting up how the narrative could reflect what they're showing. Like, they're saying one thing and showing another thing, you know? So they're saying, and what Kevin Feige has said, this is really going to be... He said this on, like, about every Spider-Man movie that's come out, by the way. Kevin Feige's, like, said, this is the Spider-Man movie where you really see him become Spider-Man, you know? He said that for Homecoming. He said that for Far From Home. And he's pretty much saying it. He's going to say it here after he probably snipes all the people who leaked the trailer for No Way Home once it's officially out, right? So when they show, he's going to go up against his biggest threat yet, which is multiple threats from various universes. And I get it, because it connects to Loki, which I have seen. By the way, I have seen all the MCU shows now, because my mom got Disney Plus, and we've been kind of binge watching the shows together. So I've seen Loki. I know what happens with, Kang and Sylvie in the multiverse going into different timelines, because that's going to set up the Multiverse of Madness. But does that really connect to the story they were telling with the Spider-Man movies? Like, that sets up like more of Phase 4, right? And the Multiverse of Madness, and that's going to go crazy with how that movie's going to go with its story in Doctor Strange. But with Spider-Man's narrative, like Far From Home, going like his identity's exposed and going One More Day route, was that really... Or, like, not even, like, One More Day, kind of like Back in Black without the black, like, without the black suit, per se. Like, his Aunt May gets shot, or his identity gets exposed, and he goes after the people that know who he is, because he's so pissed. Like, why not do that? Like, don't introduce the black suit You don't have to do that, but like, what if you would just see Tom Holland act really serious as Spider-Man, and show him go up against like Mysterio, even though he knows he's dead, but like he tries to find out like how did he leak that video, when did he record that, and like these villains that are gonna attack him, like Vulture and Scorpion, pretty much. Which, by the way, I should probably switch my suit power to the Spider Bro. I don't have it, sadly. Oh wait, I should probably go here. No, I don't have enough tokens because I'm playing on New Game, not New Game Plus, so I should have probably did that earlier. But I was gonna use the Spider Bro suit power instead of the Web Blossom. But we'll stick with the Web Blossom. But you know what I'm talking about? Like if they were to do like a Back in Black storyline, or a One More Day storyline without the bad writing or the bad points that people do not like about some of those stories. Minus Back in Black, because I think majority of people do like Back in Black. But One Moment in Time, or One More Day. Like, why are we taking inspiration from these stories and not like, again, Spider-Man Blue? The death of Gwen Stacy, even like we did that with the Amazing Spider-Man 2. But in a way, like show a narrative that like one of my actual. By the way, this is kind of like a different death of Gwen Stacy because it's the Ultimate Comics. But the scene in Ultimate Spider-Man, I don't know the number of the issue, but where Gwen dies by Carnage, and there's this entire issue of him inside the school because he got into detention, because Mary Jane was kind of mad at Flash Thompson for making a joke about Gwen being dead, which was kind of messed up, and they all got in a fight, and Mary Jane also got into a fight with them. Like, do you know the story that I'm talking about, Franco? Like, this is like the kind of like aftermath of the Carnage story in the Ultimate Comics.
No, I actually just started reading the Ultimate Comics, actually.
Really? Okay, well, I feel bad if I'm going to spoil this for you.
No,
but
no, that's fine.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of stuff, don't worry, it's fine.
Alright, so there's, I don't know, there's a really great story in the Ultimate Comics that's like one issue long, and we don't even see Peter become Spider-Man, which might sound boring to some of you guys who are like, no, where's the flipping action? Where's the web slinging action, bro? I can't enjoy a Spider-Man movie without him cracking a joke. Like, no. I live for the human moments within the superhuman. So in this story, what I'm trying to get at is, in this narrative that I'm talking about, this Ultimate Spider-Man comic story where Gwen dies from Carnage, Peter defeated Carnage, and the next day he's in detention, or the next issue he's in detention with Mary Jane, Liz Allen, Kenny Kong, and Flash Thompson and himself, right? They're all in the classroom together, sitting down, and talking about Gwen and what she meant to them. And he's really, struggling because it's, his fault, right? Like, in the original comics, Gwen obviously died because Peter grabbed... What the heck? Peter, don't glitch into the top of the ceiling there. What are you doing? In the original comics, Gwen died because Green Goblin threw her off the bridge, and then Peter tried to catch her, but then he did catch her. However, her neck got snapped in the process because it wasn't a proper catch that really saved her, or concussioned her fall, or cushioned her fall, I should say. It was just a midair catch, and then she died, sadly. I'm doing terrible at this chase, by the way. But in the Ultimate Comics, Carnage kills Gwen, who's a clone of Peter, because his blood was spliced with Kurt Connor's blood as the Lizard, right? So Carnage kills Gwen, and this random security guard. So because, again, it's due to Peter's fault, right? It's all because of him and his guilt and his actions that led him to, but indirectly, kill Gwen. He obviously didn't kill her himself, but he blames himself for what happened. And in this comic, what I'm trying to get at this whole time, in this comic, his identity is known to Mary Jane, and Gwen knew Peter was Spider-Man too. She originally thought that Spider-Man killed her dad, because that was just some other guy in a costume. It wasn't Chameleon, like some of the original stuff, but it was like this guy in a Spider-Man suit robbing a bank, and we never really know he's just some guy. But she blamed Spider-Man for a while killing her dad, and then for a while she was really mad at Peter because she thought he killed him. But then she learned and come to understand his secret and admire him for being a hero and putting others before himself in a really great way. And they have this really great bond. Before, of course, Michael Bendis brought her back in the Ultimate Comics. Just forget the Ultimate Comics for now with Miles Morales, because she obviously returns in the later issues when Miles is Spider-Man and Peter's dead. But think of the core Ultimate Comics. In this issue, I'm doing a terrible job saying this up, but in this issue, they're talking, just simply sitting in a room, talking. And then there's this one great moment where Mary Jane is like, what about Spider-Man? You know, like Peter Parker's like, well, who are you? You're criticizing me, Peter, for being Flash Thompson and Kenny Kong, and you know, you're dissing on Flash because you're calling him a jerk. Well, what are you, Peter? You know, who are you to talk about people like that? And he's like, I'm no one, because he's like he feels like he's worthless, or he's like ashamed for being himself because he blames himself for Gwen's death and also the death of Uncle Ben. Still, you know. But then Mary Jane asked that question, like, well, what about Spider-Man? And he gets, like, freaked out. He, like, actually kind of gets, like, shocked. And, like, he stands up in the middle of the room, like, what did you just say? And then she's, like, she covers her mouth, like, oh, my God, I just let that slip. And then he runs out of the room. And even though they don't really know until later after he died, it's kind of implied that Kenny and Liz Allen knew, like, okay, he's Spider-Man. Or, like, there's something going on where he kind of connects to Spider-Man in a weird way, right? And then Mary Jane's like, Peter, what are you doing? Like, you know, don't forget, I didn't mean to get that out. You know, I didn't mean to let that slip that you're Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Or, like, you know, kind of infer that you're Spider-Man. Like, I'm sorry. He's like, it's not you, MJ. It's me. I just feel so helpless and guilty all the time because I can't help people. I let down Uncle Ben. I let down Gwen. And it's like, that's what you get. That's what you get when you combine, again, these great stories with the duality of Peter's life. His you know, what am I talking? Like his yes, the worlds colliding, the human mixing with the superhuman. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like now they have this perfect opportunity. They have the golden opportunity of Peter's identity is out there to the world, exposed. People in prison want to kill him because they know now who he is. They know Mac Gargan is a murderous psychopath, and he wants to kill Spider-Man for messing up his face. And he has people in the prison wanting to do the exact same thing. So why are we focusing on this crazy multiverse stuff that doesn't relate at all to the other movies? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but it's just like shock factor. It's just total fan service nonsense, in my opinion. Granted, we haven't seen the movie yet, so it's totally unfair for me to say that because we have not sat down in the theater and watched the movie for ourselves. But do you know what I'm talking about? Like, imagine if that was a realistic, grounded story. Like, that whole scene in that one comic is nothing but characters just talking to each other. It's just talking about them and their personalities and their problems, and really diving deep into the heart of the matter of who they are. And we might get that, you know, like Peter, like, wow, so he's talking to other versions of himself, right? So it's like, wow, Peter, Tom Holland Peter talking to Tobey Maguire Peter, like, what'd you do? Like, well, my best friend died because of me, you know? Harry got killed by Venom. Andrew, like, well, what about you, Andrew Peter? Like, oh, well, my love of my life, my soulmate, Gwen Stacy, died because I wasn't quick enough to save her, and I let her down. But then my Aunt May told me, you know, like, don't let that get you down, and you still got to keep going forward because that's what they would want you to do. Because you still have people to protect, and you still have people that you can rely upon, and that also rely upon you. So this really wholesome message about self-motivation and self-confidence, about no matter how far you fall and no matter how many people you let down or possibly die or get injured because of you, you still have a chance to make it right. You still have the opportunity to get back up and continue being the hero that you can be, or continue being the best self that you can do for the people around you, right? It's not about you. You're being selfish. It's about the people you care about. You know what I'm talking about? So if this is a story about Spider-Man becoming Spider-Man for the third time, even though it's exactly what Homecoming and Far From Home were supposed to do, so now I guess he's really becoming the man of Spider-Man. The Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina inclusions are going to take away from that story. In my opinion, again, all my opinion, this is not from a fact, this is not from a I know everything that's going to happen stance. This is what I'm currently getting from the trailer, and that's where I'm kind of like confused about how they're going to handle the narrative. And I really hope they can handle it properly.
I'm headed there now.
And that's just all I'm hoping for. Let's see.
Like, from 1 hour from now, it's going to be the Sony conference at CinemaCon.
Right, but then they're going to have it like a private showcase, and then they're going to probably release it publicly later at night.
They're saying 9:30 EST.
Okay.
Jerry's?
Let's see. I don't know. Let me guys know in the comments, because that was a reference that I had. Like, people say all the time, like, what's your favorite Spider-Man story from the comics? And I always kind of go back to that issue from Ultimate Spider-Man, I think, really stands out. I also personally love the Venom storyline.
I owe you one.
Same, yeah.
With, you know, the whole symbiote stuff and the sins of fathers past, you know, like all that stuff. And
Right.
this is a very hot take. I'm probably going to get canceled for saying this. But I actually do like... I'm not even kidding. People are going to flame me for this if some people read the comics, which I hope you guys do.
That's fine.
I like The Evil That Men Do from Kevin Smith with Black Cat. If anyone knows that story, I like it. It kind of like, obviously not what they do with Felicia's character. Like, obviously that's kind of messed up. But how they redeem her in a way, like she learns from that in the sense that she can rise above it. And no matter how terrible of a scenario that was for her, which I won't spoil it in case you guys haven't read it or referred to it because I might get demonetized, but just that story of The Evil That Men Do with Felicia Hardy and Spider-Man, mainly because of how it really fleshes out and humanizes Felicia Hardy's character with Peter, because that was the whole thing, like, oh, Black Cat never really cared about Peter, she only cared about Spider-Man, right? But then that story is the exact opposite. She learns, like, oh, that was me in my youthful days. You know, I didn't really learn or think about things in a better way because Peter is a being, and he actually was kind of, because it references the original comics, you know, from the 60s, 70s, where Peter reveals his identity to Felicia Hardy, and then she's like, you know, she's screaming, she's like in shock, like, put your mask back on, you know, what are you doing, put your mask back on, because she's terrified that, like, the whole facade is gone. And she's like, who are you? Like, no, you're just Spider-Man to me, my love. You know, you're this superhero. Like, oh, I get it. And that's, like, kind of the meme line like that Peter has in the comics. Like, oh, I get it. Peter Parker's just nobody. It's Spider-Man who turns you on. You know, he actually says that in the comic, which I find hilarious. So he says that, and it's like a joke because it's seen like, oh, what a fun little gag line he says in that panel. But really, it's actually very poignant because it's not really embracing someone for who they are and what you're trying to see them for who you want them to be, instead of accepting them for the person that they actually are, you know? So that's why I really like that story, because of how it really fleshes out Felicia Hardy's character and her relationship with, you know, Peter.
Mind if I look around for
Yo, Ron, Evan, stop acting like this film is Spider-Man 4 featuring Tom Holland. I didn't say that once, but I'm saying that could be the outcome in which people view the movie, because Toby is in this movie, Andrew's in this movie, Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin are in this movie, which are two Raimi villains. So at this point, again, where is a villain that directly relates to Tom Holland's universe? Like, again, I want to see the MCU's version of Doc Ock. I don't want to see a variant of another Doc Ock, or I don't want to see a variant of another Green Goblin or Electro. I want to see a villain who we have not yet seen in a movie to be the main villain of this movie. I want to see, like,
why didn't I ever finish it?
You know,
I think I can make this work.
Chameleon. Some really crazy mind warp stuff that he can do with, like, messing with Tom Holland. Like, he knows who he is, therefore what if he, like impersonates, like, I don't know, someone who's close to Peter, like a father figure, someone like he's obviously not going to cross-dress as Aunt May, for example. Like, it's not going to happen, right? But it's like, what if he dresses up as, like, I don't know, like, see, there's the problem. There's no side character that I can connect to in these movies that relates to Tom Holland's Peter. Like, if he had, like, a Mr. Dickovich or, like, someone on his side, like a teacher or someone that he could really put his trust into at the school, instead of just Ned or MJ, you know? Like, a kid, like, yeah, a kid that can connect him, I understand that, but, like, what if, like, a motivator or a mentor or someone, not Tony, not the dead mentor Tony, but, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, what if one of his teachers, like the guy from Silicon Valley, whatever his name is, the guy with the glasses, what if he was, like, a really, you know, kind-hearted teacher to Peter that he really respected, and he's like, you know what, I gotta tell you, like, these rumors, Peter, I see you that you're Spider-Man are kind of getting around the school. Because we see, spoilers, in the leaked trailer, we see all the students in the school are, like, staring him down. You know, like, I guess that even calls back to Spectacular Spider-Man, the show, or even that Ultimate Spider-Man comic where Kraven, the hunter, goes to Peter's school. He goes to Midtown, and he's trying to track down Spider-Man's fight with Green Goblin, and he smells like Spider-Man's scent is here in this room, and he's like, he's slowly figuring out that Peter might be Spider-Man. You know that comic? guys in the chat, Franco, you may not, but like the guys in the chat, hopefully you guys read the comics to know about that. Or Spectacular Spider-Man, the same exact thing. Like, Flash has that great arc. Flash has that amazing arc in the show where, like, puny Parker, he's nothing like Spidey. Anyone can pretend to be Spider-Man, you know, and he dresses as Spider-Man, and he gets in trouble. He almost gets his ass beat by those thugs. So it's like, why aren't we getting like that type of stuff like from the teachers? Like, hey Pete, I know that you're getting this exposure from Spider-Man, but I know you probably couldn't be Spider-Man. You know, you're too weak or whatever. Like they could do like a little MCU joke there. Like, oh, I know how nerdy you are, Peter. Whatever. You're never gonna be. You're no way Spider-Man. There's no way I trust those crazy rumors or whatever. You know, something like that. But then what if it turns out the whole time that's just a way for Peter to get him to trust the teacher? For example, like in this scenario, use the guy with the glasses as the main scapegoat here. And what if he like literally like stabs Peter in the back and it turns out it's Chameleon? Like that's one of the people that Matt Gargan knew in prison. It's like, hey, that Peter guy is Spider-Man. We should go after him and kick his ass and murder him, you know? Oh, and kill his whole family and friends. Oh yeah, there you go. Therefore, you get a really grounded story. Like, I'm not crazy when talking about this. I'm just saying, like, do you see how many potential possibilities there are for this? And it's like, no, multiverse. Like, where did this come from? You see what I'm talking about here? Like, I don't know, you guys. And I'm genuinely not trying to shat all over this movie, you know? Shart, poop, defile, whatever term you want to use. I love Spider-Man. I love Marvel. I love even the MCU. I also like some of the interpretations we've got of Spider-Man in the Avengers stuff, and Civil War is still my favorite, and I like bits of Homecoming. I just really did not like Far From Home. And everything we've heard about so far from No Way Home has me very concerned. And I hate that argument from people like, oh, how could you possibly judge a movie before it's out? You don't know anything about it because the movie and the trailer aren't out yet. First off, we saw the leaked trailer, so we officially already know the main plot of what's going to happen, which is already confirmed to be a multiverse movie. Second off, that argument doesn't work when you're doing the exact same thing if you're excited for the movie. It's like, oh, you can't be hating the movie before it's even out yet. So are you saying that you can't be excited for the movie before it's even out yet? So you're literally contradicting yourself. So I hate that argument that people use because it makes literally no sense. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, if there was like a really personal story that just had Peter come to terms with himself as Spider-Man and accept that people know that he's out there, because unlike Tony Stark, who literally just said, you know, in the first Iron Man movie, all the way back in 2008, where he's like, you know what, people already kind of know that Tony Stark is Iron Man, so I'm just going to accept that, you know? And if they do that by the end of the movie, by the way, if he comes out and says, I am the Spider-Man, you know, I am Spider-Man, Tom Holland, Peter Parker comes out and says that like at a press conference, Civil War comic style, I'm going to like, I'm going to just be like, what is happening? Because like, of course, that happens in the comics, right? And that would be like, oh, well, you can't hate it because that's comic material, right? But at the same time, we know Peter only did that to gain the trust of the people because he was teaming up with Iron Man in the comic, right? But in the movie, it's a different scenario because he hates it when his identity is exposed. Same thing with the comics. Every time, which is what I love about the Ultimate Comics, every single time Peter's identity is exposed to the world, or to people he doesn't really, want to know that he's Spider-Man, he gets freaking pissed. He's like, God damn it, I don't want my identity to be out there for people to see. Which is awesome, because it's like, that's exactly what an angsty teenage kid would do if he had a secret identity that he wanted to keep it under wraps. And it makes sense. Like, you see what I'm talking about? Like, I don't know, you guys. Like, I'm trying to be as very level-headed as possible. Hopefully you're understanding what I'm talking about and what I'm referencing here. But I don't know, man. Like, let me know your thoughts. So now I've kind of ran my spiel about the multiverse stuff not making sense, my concerns with how that could affect Tom's story, and just focusing more on multiverse stuff, Tobey, Spider-Man 4, Amazing Spider-Man 3, all that, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts. Are you guys excited? Are you concerned? Are you thinking that John Watts is a narrative genius? He's like the next freaking, I don't know, what's a famous director's name? Alfred Hitchcock? Who's like another popular director that people know? Like,
Christopher Nolan?
Nolan? Yeah, Christopher Nolan. By the way, I love Christopher Nolan's movies so much. I've recently watched, just a little shout out here. I recently watched, I've seen like the majority of Christopher Nolan's movies. I don't know if you've seen these movies, Franco. This is just more like a little side chat thing about how good he is as a director. I've seen The Prestige. Mm-hmm. Have you seen that movie with Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale? And
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Interstellar, of course, is like a big one, of course. But Prestige, oh my God! If you guys want to see a good movie, just watch The Prestige. Oh, excellent movie. So good. Let me see. I got a little weird notification on my phone here. That's why I paused really quick. And now we also see in the the leaked photos, supposedly, that Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is going to potentially have a different costume, but we see he's using the exact same pumpkin bombs in the first Raimi movie in the trailer. Like, it's the round orange ones, and it's the normal pumpkin bombs that they just explode. It's not like the razor bats, where they like the shurikens, the razor bats, the flying little. You guys know what I'm talking about. The razor bats. It's not those. It's a bomb, right? So he's using those original pumpkin bombs from the first movie, and Doc Ock flew there. He's like, "Hello, Peter," which I'm, by the way.
Super annoying.
I'll probably bring this up during the reaction video tonight or tomorrow, whenever they drop the official thing. I'm 100% convinced in that shot where Doc Ock is there to Tom Holland's Peter, and he says, "Hello, Peter," because they've taken out shots and also replaced shots with CGI and removed things from the movie. So I'm 100% convinced that is not him talking to Tom Holland's Peter. That's him talking to Toby's Peter with Tom next to him. Right? Because, first off, that would make zero sense where he says, "Hello, Peter," to the wrong Peter? Like, what? And second off, it's just like, I don't care if you guys have seen the trailer or not. It's been, like, teased ages now that the other Spideys are going to be in this movie. Like, this is already a multiverse film with the villains, so why are you going to bring in the villains of the other movies and not bring in the Spider-Man in the same movie? So I think for sure that's going to happen with, Doc Ock. And Willem Dafoe and Electro, I don't know how they're going to play into the story. And is it going to be like a Sinister Six thing? Where we have three now? Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, who's rumored to be the main villain of the whole movie, which makes, again, no sense. No build-up to him being the foe of any of these films whatsoever. Also died, so okay. Or Doc Ock or Electro. And then who are the other three? Probably Lizard, Rhino, and
this is one station that was already
Sandman, maybe? I don't know. Like, yeah, like, what, is Thomas Hayden Church going to come back? And is, Paul Giamatti? Is William Sawyers himself, Paul Giamatti's clone, going to come back in this movie? We will see. I'm kidding. I don't know for sure, but that'd be hilarious.
We get Stephen O. Young's Mr. Negative in
Yes, dude! Bring him in! Do it! Like, do it, dude! I would love that. Like, I'm getting mad, because it's like, if you're gonna bring in Toby and Andrew and Tom, why stop there? Bring in Najee Jeter's Miles, bring in Shameik Moore's Miles, bring in Yuri Lowenthal's Peter. Why not? Bring in the game, like, bring in, like, 60s Spider-Man, bring in Spider-Ham. Go all out. Who cares?
Bring in Dominic Toretto.
This is what's happening in real time. They're literally doing a mix of three things. They're doing a mix of One More Day, Shattered Dimensions, and kind of like a Brand New Day / Back in Black thing. Whereas, like, he's dealing with the repercussions of his identity being out there, minus the black suit,
Too smart.
So it's like, and Shattered Dimensions is just a multiverse story, but good. Like, better, exactly. So I don't know, like, I don't know, man.
Hey Yuri, you still have Black Cat's suit and equipment in the evidence log.
I'm obviously joking. I love how you guys think everything I say is literal. No, I'm obviously kidding. Don't bring in Spider-Ham or the games. I'm kidding. That's a joke. That should be given off by my extremely sarcastic tone. But, like, again, at that point, it's like, why stop there? You're bringing in these two other massive Spider-Men from their own movies.
You're calling late.
So it's like, why, like, who else are you going to bring in? Because it's like, Again, that's what we saw with Loki. You're acting, by the way, I love how people are acting like that's a crazy thing. There's literally an alligator who's Loki. Did you guys not see Loki? There's alligator Loki. Hello? You guys need to get freaking aware of this. You gotta watch. You gotta keep getting the know. I don't know. You guys are like some of you, like the majority of you are amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love each and every one of you. But I hate people like, oh, this is the most ludicrous theory I've ever heard. Meanwhile, there's an alligator Loki, dude. What are you talking about? There's literally, like, what do you want to see? Like, I have no clue what you're talking about. Like, these people, bro, I swear to God, sometimes I can't deal. I don't know.
Breathe.
I know.
Breathe.
But, like, you see what I'm talking about? I'm not getting mad, but it's like, I'm just trying to make that clear.
Yeah,
like, I'm obviously fine. You guys don't worry. But I'm just like, you know, like, that's the thing. Like, there's exactly Chris Martinez, Fax, and Thor Frog. We got Throg in Loki. He's in the freaking, you know, little jar. And he's trying to reach his mini Mjolnir. So it's like, what are you talking about? Like, they could do this, and it would make sense. Like, oh my God. Like, you know, so I would not put it past Sony or the writers or whoever. Like, you know, let's bring in Toby, Andrew, Tom. But then, you know, why not get in, like, you know, don't even get, like, the popular Spider-Man, like Scarlet Spider or, you know, Spider UK or Kane Spider-Man, you know, Ben Reilly or Kane. What if they bring in, like, the super obscure ones, like Earth X Spider-Man or Spiders Man, where it's Spider-Man with all the spiders he's made of, you know? Like, if you guys read comics, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's like, what if they just did that and, like, those are your main characters, you know? So, like, who else? Like, I should probably look at the suits for reference. Let's see, who we have. Let's see. Actually, let's go by one by one. You know what? Hold on.
Way too high strung.
I'm gonna have Peter do his little thing. I'm gonna save. You know what? I'm gonna go to here to do the tower. I'm gonna sync with this tower, and then I'm gonna leave this file that I'm on right now and go to my file with all the suits, and then we're gonna go one at a time, one by one, go after all the alternate Spider-Man suits and see which one could possibly be included in No Way Home if they're going the multiverse route. Like Franco, right now, give me your top three. Yeah. Besides Tom, Andrew, and Toby, which other Spider-Man would you like to see, or Spider-Woman, would you like to see in this movie? By the way, before you answer, sorry, someone clipped that with my whole rant about the alligator. Like, oh, no one would ever believe that Tom and Andrew would be in this movie. Meanwhile, an alligator Loki exists, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a real thing that Marvel did. So I don't know what they mean when it's like, this is not in any way feasible. Like, it's literally could happen. Could literally 1000% happen. So I don't know what they're talking about. It's insane. Meanwhile, there's also a talking raccoon in space. So, like, people need to get out of here if they don't think that could happen in this movie. As a legitimate possibility, like an actual, not even joking thing that could actually happen. So, Franco, before I go over these suits, give me your three Spider-Men from the comics. Who would you like to see appear in this Spider-Verse, No Way Home, multiverse stuff? Besides the main three live-action ones.
Well, obviously, you know, Scarlet Spider, because, well, duh. Second would probably be, it's hard because, you know, you get, like, there's so many to choose from. It's hard to, like, pick just three.
Right.
Maybe Spider-Punk and, I guess,
Spider-Punk and...
Spider-Man 2099. What am I talking about?
Okay. Well, wait, sorry. Spider-Punk... 2099.
So
who was the other
Spider,
one? Oh, Scarlet Spider.
So
right.
Yeah, so Scarlet Spider, Spider-Man 2099, and Spider-Punk.
I could see that. Okay, so let's see. Advanced Suit Spider-Man PS4 Spidey. That's my dream, obviously.
Well,
by the way,
that too, but like if
people
we're being
like
realistic.
Well, yeah, realistic, of course. And it's like, of course, like what they bring back John Bumyak, of course they won. But you know, just as a hypothetical, what if you see the suit just in CG? Like, remember the King trailer? The PlayStation, the King ad that we had, like a little 2-second clip of live-action Advanced Suit Spider-Man. Looked amazing, by the way. Like, that's the all-time dream, of course. This is classic Spider-Man, so classic comic, you know, classic just in general Spider-Man. Not from the game, but just classic, you know, 616 comic Spider-Man. That could happen. Spider-Man Noir. Absolutely.
Yes.
1,000%
Yes.
absolutely would love to see that for sure. Just like Into the Spider-Verse, make them black and white. Why not? They already have WandaVision do it. So I wouldn't put it past them to do that too here. Scarlet Spider, yes. Absolutely. Ben Reilly, for sure the king of the Scarlet Spiders. Not Kane, but Ben Reilly, for sure. Electro-proof Spider-Man. This is kind of what I genuinely think is the gold and black suit, or the black and gold suit. I think that might be an electro-proof type of costume, because I think people have pieced together that suit is the standard Homecoming suit, but inside out. Because he does have it inside out at one point in Homecoming, and you see like the interior of it is like kind of like a dark green or a black and yellow / gold color palette for the interior of the suit. So if he maybe puts it inside out, maybe it can reflect electricity, maybe, because I don't know what the difference would be between that suit and the integrated suit that we see in the toys and stuff. Negative suit Spider-Man,
Right.
or negative zone Spider-Man. Not really a one that I would want to see. You know, it's just kind of like a different, power. It's kind of like 616 Spider-Man at a different point in time where he has a different amount of powers. So I would say no to that one. And then, of course, classic Tom Holland Spider-Man is already in the movie. Secret Wars Spider-Man. Could be cool. Maybe at that point in time, again, he comes out with this suit. Would be pretty trippy. Don't know for sure. Bulletproof Spider-Man. This is where he did not have his spider sense. Kinda. Well, we got in Far From Home, funny enough, where he didn't have his Peter Tingle working. So he kind of had no spider sense Peter Tingle working, which, by the way...
Please don't say that.
I was going to say, literally kill me if you ever hear me say that again with genuine intent. That was a joke. But if I ever say, oh man, I love Peter Tingle so much, like the spider sense, you can
that
unsubscribe.
sounds wrong.
You can
That
literally
sounds wrong.
unsubscribe, unfollow, and I would support your decision in doing that. Spider-Punk, Hobie Brown, baby. Yes, I would be down for it. Why not? Get the punk in there. Rock out. I would love to see that. Wrestler Spider-Man. Human spider suit win. I'm kidding. But Wrestler Spider-Man, I mean, I would like to see personally what Tom Holland's, if he had the wrestler origin in the movie, you know? Or, we know Uncle Ben's dead. By the way, holy crap, that's a whole nother can of worms I don't want to get into about Uncle Ben not being referenced at all. Which is not true, because he was, and I'm not saying that for me, like, Uncle Ben's never been referenced, which I don't care about, because we did get a reference of him in Civil War and Homecoming. So it's not about not them saying directly the word for word, oh my god, Uncle Ben, Peter, Uncle Ben is your uncle. Like, I don't need them to say that directly, you know? But at the very least, just like in these instances, just say, like, you know, I was always taught to live with the people that I have in my life and care about them, and I need to have a responsibility to them in order to protect them. You know, you don't have to say and work around it like what, you know, Martin Sheen did in the Amazing Spider-Man 1 movie, where he's like, it's not about choice, responsibility. And fun fact, that was actually the word-for-word dialogue from the first, the original Ultimate Spider-Man comics with Peter Parker. So that was actually really cool that they did that, like, right off the page of the comic, but it didn't feel right in live action. You know, when he was saying it, it felt kind of like, let's just put it in here to be in here. And I respect that, but I don't know, it felt a bit off and not as, kind of like impactful, you know? But, like, I don't need Tom to say or learn about great power, great responsibility. Like, again, the saying, show, don't tell. Show, don't tell. Don't tell me about Uncle Ben. Don't tell me with great power comes great responsibility. Show it to me through his actions. Show it to me through what he does as Spider-Man, you know? Okay, moving on. Fear itself, garbage suit. Next, big time. Maybe. I mean, again, this is all like 616 Spider-Man, just in different points of his life. So, if he, like, had to be stealthy, maybe. Enzo the Earth Spider-Man. That's kind of what I'm getting from, like, the integrated suit. Like, if he goes up against the Sinister Six, he's going to get, like, an armored suit. But the integrated suit's more like Iron Spider mixed with the upgraded suit. Because he has the legs in the leaked trailer, which I think he's wearing the integrated suit. He has the Iron Spider legs. So I don't know. Spirit Spider, no thank you, would probably give children nightmares. Which I guess might be a cool throwback to the moment where we see Iron Man as a zombie in the Far From Home illusion. All new, all different.
Yeah, also What If.
Cool, and What If, exactly. Cool suit. Obviously, but for, like, including it in the movie, Probably not. I mean, again, these are like classic 616 Spider-Man, just at different points in time. Velocity suit, that's an original suit for Spider-Man PS4, so again, include Insomniac Spider-Man, which would be sick. Iron Spider, that's Tom. 2099, baby, yes. Miguel O'Hara, already referenced the blue/black suit, which is weird. That they call it black, even though in the comics it is black. But here it's blue.
But it's blue.
Even though it's technically the color black in the comics, which the shader just happens to look blue. Whatever. Point is, we already saw Miguel teased at the end of Into the Spider-Verse, the first movie, and then he's probably going to be in the second Into the Spider-Verse movie. But I would not mind seeing him in the film No Way Home, for sure. 2099 white suit. Same thing, just a different costume, but still 2099 sure. This is it. This is the one. Forget Spider-Man PS4. Forget Toby, forget Andrew. Give me the point finger Spider-Man meme, Spider-Man, the meme with the finger pointing. That's this one.
Ditko suit.
The vintage comic Ditko Josh suit that he loves oh so much and doesn't hate whatsoever. Give me that scene. But give me that scene in the movie where they're pointing fingers at each other. Otherwise, the movie's automatic trash. I will not hear any other debates from people. That is a legitimate statement of fact. You cannot debate that. If they do not recreate the meme within that movie, it's literally a garbage movie. I'm kidding, obviously, but still. Like, if you're going to have 3 Spider-Man in live action together and not do that finger-pointing meme, there's something wrong with the writers or director. Last Stand Spider-Man. So, funny enough, I could actually see this as Spider-Man for Toby if he was like an older Spider-Man. This is kind of like Spider-Man, it's kind of like Spider-Man Reign mixed with Batman The Dark Knight Returns, but for Spider-Man, Like, Spider-Man Reign is a garbage comic, don't get me wrong. I like parts of it, but that whole radioactive splooge element of it is not good at all. I can't say the other S word, otherwise I'll get demonetized.
Yeah.
Starts with a C, ends with bum, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But that whole story in that narrative, the comic, was terrible. So that, though, it was like older, rougher, gruffer Spider-Man. I could see that being Toby, just wearing this. If he doesn't come back in the Raimi suit, then just wear this, which I think he will. But Undies suit, already kind of got in Homecoming with Tom Holland, to be honest.
Bring it back.
Bring it back, though. Bring it back when he fights Doc Ock and Green Goblin together. He's just wearing nothing but his underoos. Homemade suit, we already saw. That's Tom Holland again, but I don't want them to bring it back for this movie. Please just stick with the other suits you have. Spider UK, I wouldn't mind it. British representation. Go for it. Why not? I think people might be into it. What was it? What's his name? Something Braddock, right? Brady Braddock? Am I wrong? Spider UK's real name? I think so. Something Braddock. I know it's like the same thing, the alliteration, like Peter Parker, Brady Braddock, something like that. Resilient suit, another Insomniac creation. So again, just get a Yuri Lowenthal to get a cameo in there somehow, and I'm golden. Dark suit Spider-Man. So this is actually a suit from the comics, where I think it's like where he teams up with Deadpool. So, I mean, probably not. I mean, at least it's better than the Assassin Spider-Man where he kills people. But, I mean, just he has a black and gold suit, so that might be close enough to what we could get here. Which I hate when people compare it to this god-tier suit right here, the anti-Ock suit.
Oh, no.
If anything, y'all are on crack if you think this looks anything like the black and gold suit. If anything, the black and gold suit that we've seen in the toys looks like the Miles Morales Uptown Pride suit, because that suit actually has black and gold webs, unlike this one where it's literally pure black, no webs, massive spider logos, and Raimi-shaped eyes. Not the classic Tom Holland Ditko eyes, but bigger, sharper lenses. But again, this is just PS4 Spider-Man, so just get my boy Yuri in there somehow. ESU suits. So this is like casual wear Spider-Man. So again, kind of saw that in Homecoming, plus other Spider-Man movies, like the Andrew Garfield vigilante suits, kind of just casual wear with shades and a beanie and a mask. Kane, Scarlet Spider. Why not? I mean, I would love Ben Reilly more, but if you have Kane in there, sure, that'd be cool. More clones, more Spider characters. I'd be down for it. Spider Armor Mark II, the Silver Spider, legendary. Spider Armor, already at full health. Yes, from the PS1 days. It's gorgeous. In this game, I actually love how it looks. Again, that's kind of like Tom's armored suit. So he has like Iron Spider armor. So again, still classic 616 Spider-Man at this point in time where he just has more padded armor. Why not Iron Spider? We already see that in the movies, just with the movie versions. That's kind of the same thing. Mangaverse Spider-Man, baby. Here we go. Again, vintage comic suit, same way. Get the comics Spider-Man with Leopardon, Mangaverse, and the comic Spider-Man together. Spider-Man! What is it? The Hellbringer? Shoot, it's like the adversary of hell or something like that. The emissary of hell. Spider-Man! Yeah. So Mangaverse Spider-Man from the Spider Clan is obviously a contender that I would like to see, but that's more. This would be more suited, to be honest, for Into the Spider-Verse instead of Tom Holland. Aaron Eichmann. Actually, would not mind seeing him. I'm not a fan of this suit, to be honest, and I'm also still mad that Insomniac did not add like a back logo to update the design for this costume, because I actually do like parts of it. I just think it's a bit over excessive in the majority of its design. Aaron Eichmann is actually an interesting character, so I would actually prefer to see him over the rest, but we will see. Cyborg Spider-Man would be fun, because that way you could do a little Winter Soldier reference with his metal arm and have a robot kind of like the Terminator he can have and control. So that'd be fun. Into the Spider-Verse, Peter. So that's literally just the Spider-Man from the animated movie. Why not? Jake Johnson? I'd love to see him. You're getting Toby and Andrew, so why not bring in the other actors? Again, Yuri and Jake. Yuri Lowenthal and Jake Johnson as Peter. I'm here for it. I have no idea what this suit is, so moving on. No, I'm kidding. So, yes, we already see Toby is in the movie, for sure. The Raimi suit exists. Well, by Toby, I mean we know that Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, is in the movie. And for sure, he's going to be in this movie. Like, if you're bringing in Tobey Maguire's villains, why would you not bring in Tobey Maguire? You know what I mean? And I'm sure it's going to be this suit. I don't think he's going to wear a different suit. I just think he's going to wear the same, Maguire attire costume that we know him to wear. Let's see. So there's that suit. Bombastic Bagman. Still no kick me sign in the remaster. Still disappointing. Why not? I would like to see him, because wouldn't it just be crazy? Like if you see like Tom Holland fighting all these different villains, and all of a sudden you see a random Spider-Man, because not only would it tie into the Fantastic Four, which is also being directed by our boy John Watts, insert big sigh here, but also just having Spider-Man in an alternate universe be like teamed up with the Fantastic Four in a universe of sorts, and he's just wearing a paper bag for some reason. Like, that'd be incredible. Future Foundation, again, Fantastic Four, but after Human Torch died. So maybe not. Maybe that's a bit too far in the future, but if they were to do a white suit, that'd be cool. And then 2 Spider-Man PS4 suits here. The Armored Advanced suit, which, I'm sorry. Why in the world would I wear this costume when I already have the goated Advanced suit? And Arachnid Rider.
I like the front, but I don't like the...
Yeah.
No, I like the front, but the back I don't like.
It's like weird. Like the red is in the legs for no reason. It's just kind of there to be there.
And just the black, it just doesn't like really like
the black does not make sense. Yeah, it's like we already have the anti-ox suit, so why would you do this? Why would you ruin perfection? Don't. So again, Spider-Man PS4, would love to see him. Arachnid Rider, also from Spider-Man PS4, but this is like Insomniac meets Kamen Rider meets Spider-Man. So, again, this would be a good fit, by the way, for like Into the Spider-Verse if they did that for him, but probably not. Again, sad to not see this boy return, to be honest. I mean, if you guys saw those leak set photos, Andrew Garfield is back, but he's in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, which is great. I do like that suit, but I've always been a fan of this one more than the other one. And it just looks so visually different compared to the other ones. But man, imagine if Andrew was back, but he was wearing this one. The balls that Sony would have to do that would be incredible. And then, of course, 2 other movie suits. Pure and utter trash that I would burn on fire. Hate this suit. And the one we're currently wearing in our playthrough with the upgraded suit, which is the one he also has in the movie, which is slightly updated with the more triangular chest shape with the red line going down the suit instead of this flat bottom that we see here. So, yeah, lots of Spider-Man to choose from to put in the movie if you're going to add in Toby and Andrew and Tom Holland. But my top 3, I would say, is PS4, of course, Noir, and 3 would be... That's a good one. So, number 1, PS4, number 2, Noir, number 3...
2099?
No, which would be cool, but maybe already for Into the Spider-Verse is enough.
Come hell or high water, the job gets...
Maybe
Nope.
Scarlet
She'd
Spider?
never admit it, but the chief was warming up to Spider.
I don't know.
His
That's gonna be a
casual
hard one.
disregard for by-the-book
Oh no, you know what?
fresh
No,
air.
he's not even in this game, but Spider-Man. I mean, he's already confirmed to be into the Spider-Verse, but I mean, why not? Live action, because he was in live action first, before he was
That
a
is true.
comic character. And someone pointed out Spider UK's dead, who I would actually choose to be in the movie, but yeah, in the comics, he got freaking capped by Moreland. And Payne, and they killed off our boy Spider-Man Unlimited, which is disgusting. I would have chosen him without second thought, but they killed him in the Spider-Verse comic, which is painful. Leo coming in with the right answer, actually. Spider Cop in No Way Home. You bet, buddy. Yes, sir. He's coming. It's just a matter of time.
Like give us
Spider Cop's on it.
Give us Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes,
He needs to
dude.
return.
Doogie Howser in the flesh, baby.
Guys aren't trading Facebook.
It's
Genius
time.
Renei.
Yeah, Genius
At your
Renei at your service, buddy. It's time. People are exposed to the real one. And I know people are like, well, actually, he's already there because Raimi's Spider-Man's in there. It's like, kind of.
No.
We got Indy coming back, please. Just give her a
And the
redemption
Mind
arc.
Twins.
Oh my god, if the Gaines twins are the main villains of this movie, I would cry. Oh yeah, actually no, Spider-Man. That was the other one that we brought up. Spider-Man would be a funny one. What about Spider-Man? Aunt May Spider-Man. Like, I'm not even kidding with all these picks. These are literal Spider-Man characters. Spider-Verse characters, I should say. So, I don't know. And guys, if you're tuning in the stream, thank you all so much for joining. Leave a like if you're having a fun time. We're just kind of, messing around. Obviously, I'm excited for the movie because I want to be good. And I love Spider-Man as a character. He's my all-time favorite superhero, obviously. But when people are like, coming in with like hateful comments, like Evan's a moron or whatever, like then obviously it's like, guys, you have to understand. A, it's my opinion. Second off, I'm not saying any of this is fact. But third, it's like we're having a conversation, which is fun because it's like, well, actually, Evan, you're wrong about this, and this is the thing that I think could be different. It's like, well, great. Give me your opinions. Give me your perspective. I'd love to hear it. Same thing in the comments. Let me know if you guys are excited for the movie, if you're interested in Tom's story, or more interested just to see Andrew and Toby return. Which element of No Way Home are you looking forward to most if you've already seen the trailer? And by the way, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We already went over what was in the leaked trailer pretty much. Kind of, I mean, we kind of went all over the place, to be honest. But, Spider-Man's there. It's a multiverse movie. Doctor Strange is there. His identity's out there in the public. I went over a whole reason as to how I think they could have done that aspect a lot better with the Ultimate Comics and kind of like not doing One More Day, which is pretty much what they're doing. And instead do like Brand New Day mixed with Back in Black, mixed with something good. I don't know, but it's like right now it's like, like I don't know. It's so weird with what they're doing. It's a hybrid of stuff I'm not a fan of.
Wouldn't be New York without a seedy drug deal.
Let's see. Andrew, baby! What's up? Andrew just joined the chat, guys. That's right. And Ghosty, too, if Franco, you're able to invite Ghosty, that'd be fun. Oh, no, there's two guys in the back of that car! No! Tom Holland, you're a murderer. What are you doing? How dare you let them go like that? Nah, we're going to save them. Are they still there? That'd be incredible. Or unless they just fell off the car. Nope, they're getting dragged. Oh, my God. Ow. That guy is getting dragged to hell. Let's see. Chocolate Ice, I hope Malone has a mask and looks similar to the cartoon goblin. You mean like the nightcap? Like the, the long purple nightcap goblin? That'd be pretty pogs, if I do say so myself. Pretty poggers.
Drugs are maybe my most disliked criminal activity. Definitely top 5.
Man, by the way,
However, that works.
I'm just thinking like Loki Gator Loki, Spider Ham, right? Team of the century. but also just being able to include, like, I don't know, Frog Thor and, like, the pet Avengers in a team-up in this movie. And, like, Doctor Strange, like, what is he in the comics? Like, what's his spirit animal? Because Iron Man is, like, Iron Cat, I think. Or, no, it's Captain America. Captain America's a cat, and then Iron Man's something else. Sorry, JJ, I'm going to cut you off here. Boop. All right. But Andrew and Ghosty, don't you guys agree? And by the way, what's up, Ghosty and Andrew? But isn't like the crazy argument that people make, like, oh, Evan, such a moron, thinking that they'll include different Spider-Man besides the main 3 live-action ones in this multiverse movie that we already know is going to be a multiverse movie? It's like, Alligator Loki is right there, and you're claiming you've seen the other Spider-Man movies and also the MCU shows and stuff, and they've teased it for ages now that the Spider-Verse is going to, or the multiverse exists, even though I don't think it connects with Spider-Man's movie per se, but we know the Spider-Verse is pretty much a real thing. And there's a goddamn alligator in Loki, so I don't know what people are talking about. Like, that's an impossible stretch! Evan, you moron, idiot! Like, I love when people say that, like, it's so dumb. Oh, man. Like, you just find that really funny, like, guys, come on now. Did you see the shows? Because I clearly have, and if you haven't, then you gotta get on it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
what other animal can we get for Doctor Strange? Like a stingray or something? Who knows?
Friggin' penguin.
I mean, if they did,
yes.
If they did freaking, if they did Lucky, Lucky
Loki would be a snake. Yeah, and an alligator. That's right.
I mean, it would be funny if like the trio, no way, almost like Toby, Andrew, and Peter Porker spidered him.
Right. Like, at that point, again, just bring in, like, if they're going to do, here's the thing. This is the best case scenario, because we're not going to get the movie that I was pitching earlier of just, you know, like, I want a good solo Spider-Man outing focusing on Tom's story and him growing as Spider-Man again, but also, like, realizing that he can evolve past his identity being exposed, but then understand, like, this is what it costs, Peter, of having your identity out there. You're going to get your people killed. You're going to get MJ killed. You're going to get Ned killed. You're going to get, you know, frickin', even Flash Thompson killed, like, if you care about him as much. And your classmates killed, essentially, all the Midtown High kids. No, wait, are they at Midtown High?
I think so, yeah.
What, is that the school? And that's the thing! We have no ties to his personal life. Like, none of the side characters mean anything. Like, if Ned dies, I will not care. At all. At all, if Ned dies. Yeah.
I mean...
True, but it's just that, but it's not even about, like, my disdain towards Far From Home, because I do like, Homecoming, like, elements of it, but it's not, like, one of my favorites. I think it's just fine. You know, it's average. And Ned Leeds is clearly Genki. Like, there's no two ways about it. But in this version, he's actually a helpful person about Peter, and he's trying to be like the guy in the chair and help out Peter do Spider-Man things. But then they just treat him as like a joke in No Way Far From Home, and treat everybody like a joke, mainly except for Mary Jane. So if he dies, it's like, what happened to the guy who was really there at Peter's side, helping him with Vulture and stuff? And he's like, oh, he gets killed. Do not care. MJ dies. Will not care. At all. Do not give a crap.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man! I need a minute!
1080, chase in progress. Report came in from Little Italy.
He's not standing up for some reason.
I know
yeah.
to our crime system towers.
Wasn't me. I mean, what towers?
I don't mind. In fact, I need your help. I think someone's jamming the system, and they must be using multiple jammers to cover the full frequency range. Could you take a look? If you help, I promise I won't tell anyone you're hackers.
Right.
I prefer to call it sharing, but sure.
It's the same thing where it's like, yeah, because it's like, they're doing it here. And it's like, the reason why I liked, the build-up before One More Day with Back in Black, because Back in Black takes place before One More Day, which is insane. Because Back in Black is an amazing comic, right? And I'm sure the majority of you guys know what Back in Black is in the stream. And I know Franco and Andrew and Ghosty know what it is. But it's like, Back in Black is incredible, right? And that's exactly what we like in the Spider-Man stories that have the duality of his lives colliding, because then they know who he is. And that's where it happens the worst, because then they'll know who to go after and who to hurt Peter. Because it's like, oh, Spider-Man's too damn strong for us normal crooks. So what do? Let's go after the people in his life who aren't superpowered, like Mary Jane, like Aunt May, like Gwen Stacy in the Ultimate Comics. They kind of have the same thing happen. Even Liz Allen sometimes. Like, all these characters have, like, really good narrative connections to Peter and who he is outside of the suit, because we get to know them and how they relate to Peter, right? Not just comic relief. Like, all the characters in the school are comic relief.
I don't remind me of that, please. It just makes me flashbacks from Far From Home. Like, Jesus Christ, no. I hate...
Like, Flash is literally live streaming, which, by the way, oh my god, the person who leaked the No Way Home trailer was Flash. He live streamed it on his goddamn TikTok or whatever it was. No, that'd be incredible. Tony Ravioli? No, I'm just kidding, but he literally streamed out to his chat. Well, if that was him. It's not Tom. It's Tony. It's Flash's live stream that got the trailer out.
Which is surprising that Tom wasn't the one to leak the movie.
It's a prank. Oh, no. That'd be incredible. No. Flash Thompson.
No.
Tony Ravioli. I know. You know why? Because we never really get to know about Flash Thompson in these movies. Because he's just like a side character that doesn't matter. Dude, like, yes. Like, if I were to care, like, about Flash's relationship with Peter, like, this game has a better relationship with Flash Thompson than the movies, and he's not even in the game. The game literally references him once in a little side, reference. If you look at the fee shelters, like, man, the homeless rank of people in New York is really up there for, veterans. Good thing my pal, Flash Thompson, is out there to change that. Like, look at that! They have a well-rounded history, and they're best buds. So it's like, goddamn. Now it's like, oh, Peter's what's Penis Parker back in town. Like, oh my god. Oh my lord, dude. No, dude. It's not good.
Now I just need to wreck the jammer. Okay, that's the last of them. The system should be back online.
Right.
Spider-Man, the crime system's working again.
Great. Any more info on Fisk's men or those outfits?
No, but the system's reporting unauthorized activity down by the docks. I'm sending coordinates now.
I'll check it out. Gotta get to the docks before they escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, what if it's like the same thing, like, and it's played off as a joke, but it's like, that was a really serious moment in Far From Home where they're literally about to die from those drones. Like, oh my god, Peter, oh my god, my loved ones are literally going to die from those drones. I gotta get there fast, I have to stop Quentin Beck. And he says that, but then all the tension is literally, like, totally just out of the way, avoided, and just totally not taken into consideration, where it's like, hey guys, I'm live streaming about these drones about to kill me, and also, by the way, let me share all my personal stuff, like my insecurities, and also, I'm dating Spider-Man's aunt. So it's like, oh, Pappy, so, wait a minute, you're dating Spider-Man's aunt, wait a minute, Spider-Man has an aunt? Who do we know that has an aunt? Oh my god, Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Like, what the fuck? Dude, like,
guard uniforms and
so bad.
They were planning to bust Fisk out of the rack.
You see what I mean? Like, that's all I asked for. And I'm not trying to, again, diss on John Watts or diss on the writers, even though I'm not a fan of the writing in Far From Home. All I'm saying is keep the writing consistent. That's all I ask for. And right now you have the multiverse stuff that doesn't really feel like it's connecting from the other movies, building up to this wider plot, which I think is just to set up Multiverse of Madness, to be honest. This literally just feels like, how can we get people to get prepared from Multiverse of Madness. Yes! He's literally in all the merchandise marketing for this movie. He's like half of the face of Spider-Man in the posters and or the shirts and stuff.
Spider-Man, I won't tell anyone you're piggybacking on it. But if you get caught, you're on your own.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to delete myself
Right.
from the crime system.
Uno Astro, am I using a dollar store mic? I hope not. I'm actually using an Astro 10 headset, but that's the best quality I can get for now. However, if I do get a PlayStation 5 camera, I will hopefully be able to try and get a better sense of audio. But right now, at least it's better than the microphone from the PlayStation controller, the DualSense mic, because that does not pick it up too great. Yeah, you know what I mean, guys? Like, again, no hate. Just everyone take a little zen, like a little, let's see, timeout mode from, let's look at a suit we all love. Look at the advanced suit here for a second. No, actually, where's the undies suit? We should probably look, no, I'm kidding. We don't have that one unlocked yet. Let's take a little 2-minute break. Let's take a zen, peace of mind second. Let's just look at this version, this one version of the character I think we can all agree on is a good version, right? Take a deep breath. And think about this through with me, right? If Tom Holland is in this movie as Peter Parker, but it's a multiverse movie at the same time with trying to round out his main trilogy of films, just like how Captain America had his own trilogy, but this final one in the series was kind of like Avengers 2.5, right? So this is kind of like Multiverse of Madness 0.5. Like it's a prequel to set up the Doctor Strange movie. So what I'm saying is it's okay if Doctor Strange is in this movie, right? Because all the Avengers were pretty much in a third Captain America movie, and that still worked as a Captain America movie because it was a Steve Rogers story about his relationship with Bucky and Tony, right? That's why it works so well, because they kept that narrative as the main focus. Same thing with Into the Spider-Verse. So now let's go to... Oh, I don't have the suit unlocked. I was going to go to the Into the Spider-Verse suit with Peter. But now let's take a step back, go to Into the Spider-Verse. That movie was a Miles Morales movie, even though there were multiple Spider-Men, because it kept the focus on Miles' character. It talked about his family. It talked about his parents. It talked about Aaron Davis. It talked about him trying to become a Spider-Man. Even though we had some funny moments with Spider-Ham and... Spider-Gwen and Noir, it was still a Miles Morales movie. And that was at the very start and the very end of the movie. Yeah, and there were funny moments, but they still kept it serious when it needed to be serious and didn't treat people like they weren't important characters to help further flesh out the story, right? They didn't help to further flesh out, or they helped further flesh out Miles learning, like, hey, you know, that whole scene. There was a whole scene where all the spider people were in his little, you know, college or high school his dorm room, pretty much just saying, like, for me, you know, we've all lost someone, Miles. You just lost your Uncle Aaron. I lost my Uncle Ben. And then Spider-Man Noir, I lost my Uncle Benjamin. You know, like the same thing. So even a character as funny as Spider-Ham gets a line in. The most important line, I think, of that whole scene is like, you know, Miles, sometimes you can't save everybody. And he's right. From a talking pig. And it's correct. But they never treat it like, oh, haha, cartoon pig being serious. Isn't that funny? No, because they treat it like he's an actual character, like he's a real person. So same thing here. Like, if you're bringing in Toby, if you're bringing in Andrew, if you're bringing in any other spider person, make sure that you treat them as you would for a character that has serious implications and narrative story beats to help further flesh out Tom Holland for his own movie. Don't make it a Toby movie. Don't make it like Spider-Man 3.5. Don't make it like Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.5, right? Exactly. Treat the supporting cast to support the main character. You know what I mean? That's why they're called the supporting cast. They support the story. They support the core narrative. They support Tom Holland as what they should be doing. But if instead, if they're just doing this for fan service and having a cool little action adventure with different Spider-Man villains from different movies just to fight them and look cool, then you'll get what you want visually. Like, yeah, cool. Seeing them fight, you know, them on screen is whatever. But it's not really going to matter if they don't treat them as actual characters. So that's where I would like draw the line, just say that's what I'm hoping for that they do. Yeah. Yes. Like they're gonna say like I already know this is gonna happen. Like they're gonna say Toby and Andrew carried that movie. You know, Toby's Spider-Man made
Which is
No
gonna
Way
be
Home.
sad if that
Andrew's
happens.
Spider-Man made No Way Home. It's like I want Tom to make No Way Home. I want Tom to be his own
We want him to be the
amazing
main
person. And
character.
granted, we haven't seen it yet, so they might be able to pull it off, but it's not doing anything to like really give me that type of confident boost of feeling like this is really going to be his story, isn't it? Like I don't think so right now, but we'll see, I guess. Mm. Right, like he's just another version of the better versions, right? Like, no, I want him to be like possibly the best version. And that could be the actual takeaway point from it. Like, this could be the definitive Spider-Man if they wanted to. In my eyes, again, I still view that the game did that. But, like, for some people, maybe he already is, and that's great. But I want the movie to actually make it clear why that could be the actual case. Like, you know what? Toby and Andrew are there. But they had their time in the spotlight, but this is Tom's time to shine, like, for sure. This is his moment, and he's going to save everyone, and he might. But again, it's like I don't want it to just be off the coattails of learning from the other Spider-Men or whatever, or learning from his other versions, whatever, of himself. If they do, like, the variant route, I want it to be, like, I am my own guy. I am my Spider-Man. I am Peter Parker, me. Not them, not you, Otto, from another universe, not even Norman or whatever. Me, Peter Parker, in the MCU, Tom Holland, I'm a hero, and I don't need anyone else to tell me otherwise. And it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I just hope that they can get around that in a way that makes sense and just, like, blow me away with, like, wow, this is, like... Because, again, Tom Holland is an amazing actor. Like, we got to make that clear. Tom Holland's an actually really good actor. He's really, really good with conveying those emotional scenes when he gets them. Like, I actually was really shocked by his If This Be My Destiny moment, you know, in Homecoming where he lifts the rubble. That was great. And then, again, the writing messed up, sadly, because he thinks of Tony instead of, like, Uncle Ben or whatever. Or whatever, you know, just, oh, if you don't have the suit, you shouldn't have it. Like, that's what you think of to lift you up? I get, like, in the comics, he thinks of Aunt May and his loved ones to get him out of there. But instead, he just thinks of the guy who gave him a better suit. So, I don't know. But I honestly think there could be a really emotional moment in here with Tom's acting capabilities. I just hope the writing can convey to me that he will, like, blow me, like blow my current expectations out of the water. You know? Like, I did not get anything like that in Far From Home. The scene where Mysterio's there and he's crying to Happy, I didn't really feel anything with that moment because, again, they're just kind of like backpedaling to the Iron Man stuff, which I really hope is not back in this one. But I just want them to make a good. I want them to make a good story that will do Tom justice. That's all. That's all I'm really hoping for. No hate. to Tom, no hate to the MCU. I just want a good movie. That's all I'm asking for, and that's what I hope we can get.
Yeah.
I took that whole little break. Sorry, Andrew. I took that little break just to make that point clear to everyone who's like hating or not understanding my perspective. That is as clear as I can make it. So if anyone misinterprets that you either did not watch what I just said or you literally just avoided listening to it. So I'm sorry. I got all that off my chest. Andrew, please continue. I am so sorry I cut you off.
Tombs, aka the Vulture. Apparently, this winged criminal has fallen ill with cancer, and he's been moved to the Raft's infirmary for treatment, which will undoubtedly cost a fortune in public funds. Now let me ask you, why do we even have an infirmary at the Raft? It's a supermax prison.
Yeah, just to for shock factor. Right, because if they included Toby in there, like, oh my god, Toby's back, and then he dies, like, do you have to understand.
I'll be so
oh my god.
pissed.
You have to have the balls
another pause
to do
moment.
that.
You guys do not know. If they kill either Toby or Andrew, do you know what that is going to do for social media for Spider-Man Twitter? Oh my god. By the way, anyone who is a normal viewer, first off, thank you for watching. I very much appreciate you guys tuning in the stream. Hope you're having a good time. Leave a like if you're enjoying. Second off, if you're just a normal viewer, enjoyer of Spider-Man content, and you do not have social media, for the love of God, do not ever, ever, ever go on social media. Please. It's a cesspool of terror. It's absolute toxic, total.
You will get ripped apart.
Brain melting. The only reason why I have a Twitter, by the way, is for these amazing people I'm talking to right now with Andrew, Ghosty, and Franco and the Spidey Squad, and to promote stuff for the channel. If I was not on YouTube, I would not have social media. Because if you guys know, I made social media specifically for the channel. Oh my god, Twitter is a cesspool of terrible, terrible things. So never ever go and expose yourself. It's absolutely mentally straining to your mental health. It's not healthy to spend your time. But what I was saying is if you do that to kill off Toby or Andrew,
or even both.
First off, there's gonna be the freaking scientists out there actually, there would not be any way that Toby wouldn't lose to Doc Ock in this universe because he already fought Doc Ock in the past film. So if he loses to Doc Ock and Green Goblin, then there's own movies. But then in the Tom Holland movie, that makes no sense. I don't know, dude. There's gonna be those crazy in-depth stands who are there's no way that they'll freaking do this. And I saw a comment from someone, and it was a joke, by the way, who wrote this comment, the same thing. You have to understand, I was joking when I was saying this. Please do not do this. Yo, Ron, Evan, how can you say that the film has too many characters already, yet that you say, why stop there and add more? Because, again, if you're doing multiverse stuff, why stop there? Why not add Spider-Ham? Why not add Spiders-Man? Why not add Spider-Man? Aunt May? What's stopping you? Do it. I'm joking. Because I don't want a multiverse movie. Because that's how ridiculous...
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because that's exactly how ridiculous it is. Because I don't want a multiverse movie. I don't want to see different characters. I just want it to be Tom. But if we are doing this, then just whatever. At that point, it'll be so taken out of the movie. It's oh, you got freaking, isn't there a Spider-Man who's a kid? Not a kid, a teen, a high schooler. I mean a kid, a toddler.
Is everything okay?
Not the daughter, not Annie Parker, but isn't there a boy, kid, Spider-Man person? I'm probably wrong about this.
that one who's basically like Superman and Spider-Man combined.
No, I mean an actual boy, a toddler boy who's Spider-Man. I thought there was one like that. I know he has a daughter with Mary Jane, not her, but I'm talking about an actual kid boy.
I think you mean the one in Spider-Geddon where Uncle Ben has a little small Peter Parker.
Kinda, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he's in Spider-Geddon.
He's in the bunker
one story where
with Uncle Ben, and he has the kid that's Mayday's brother, right, or something.
Yeah.
Isn't he the totem? Yeah, he's the totem for the Inheritors. So again, Yo Ron, if they had that here's Toby, here's Andrew, here's the Spider-Boy totem from the Inheritors comic, just do that. At that point, what's stopping you?
Hello?
So I say it as a joke. So obviously I do not want
Robbie must
you
be
know,
pretty happy
a
right now.
multiverse movie. But again, if you guys feel different, I would love to hear any opposing thoughts and theories or viewpoints, because I totally embrace them in every way.
Osborn's campaign rally this after.
Yeah,
Adrian
I
Foster.
mean,
Oh, my boy. Adrian, wait a minute. Oh, my God. I hope you got the Miles copy. I've never heard back from you. I hope you got it, because I sent it to you a while ago, but I don't know if you got it yet or not. But Adrian says, yo, man, I'm in the chat. I respect what you're saying when it comes to No Way Home and totally agree. Excited to see what could be the next film after college, Peter. Yes. Yes. Give me Tenace, Peter. Give me Tenace, Peter, dude. Give me that. You realize we have not seen, even in Spider-Man PS4, my favorite Spider-Man iteration of all time, you understand, we haven't even seen Peter in college. He's graduated college, but we haven't seen a movie in Peter like he's like actually in college. Like we've seen him like in Spider-Man 2 and 3, like doing classes and stuff, you know, but like nothing like surrounding the college. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know like how to describe it really, but like he's in the college doing stuff in Tenace, literally by living a student's life. Whereas like in Spider-Man 2 and 3, you never really get that. He feels more like an adult there than any other medium, even though they say him like, which is so hilarious, by the way. Like, this is a flaw of Spider-Man 2. Oh my God, I'm criticizing the holy Bible of Spider-Man media, I know, but genuinely, where they say Spider-Man saves the people on the train, right, in Spider-Man 2, and he gets kind of like Jesus carried across the sea of people in the train, and then like they see him unmasked, and he's like, he's just a kid. He's no older than my son. He's like, so do you tell me that you have a 30-year-old son, sir? Because like, what are you talking about? Like, because he's literally like the most part he's at the Daily Bugle. He's working his job 9 to 5, taking photos of himself, but he's like never really in school doing stuff for his paper for Otto. Like that's kind of like a little throwaway thing, and then he does it when he's like, you know, not being Spider-Man. He's like kind of doing his own thing, right? And he doesn't have his powers. He's being Peter Parker himself. And we can see him like living normal day-to-day life, but not really like in the school or like in like, oh my God, like Homecoming tried to do that with his class stuff in high school, but there's more maturity to it and more like realistic problems for college, you know? I feel like that balance of dealing with class courses and going around campus and relationships in college is more real than high school. And I say this as a college student when I was at San Jose State and San Francisco City College before COVID hit, but now I'm also still going there as a student online through online courses. Yeah, my boy Adrian got the copy. You did? Thank God. I did, bro. Left you a message on Twitter. I got the game this week. I came back from the vacation. I appreciate that you signed it. Yes, Spidey Squad for life. Thank you so much. Adrian actually asked me to autograph the Miles Morales Ultimate Edition. Or no, it was just the Miles Morales Standard PS5 Edition form, which was very cool. That was my first time, I think, autographing something. So thank you, Adrian. That's very, very kind of you. And I appreciate all your support always.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Klaus Jensen also got his copy of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I don't know if he did yet.
Are you jealous I'm visiting my other
But I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, like, I don't know, like, I just don't like how, like, they sometimes go a little bit excessive with, like, the humor and the comedy with the Tom Holland movies. Because I'm not saying like the first two versions of, you know, Toby and Andrew didn't have like funny moments, because there were moments with Toby and Andrew, but you know when actually good, they weren't like happening 24/7 all the fucking time, because they actually took their battles and moments actually seriously. Like, do you ever see Toby like made a joke during his fight with Green Goblin, or during his fight with Doc Ock, or even his fight with like freaking Sandman or Venom? Do you ever see him make a joke in that? No.
Right, because there's moments where and granted, you know, to their credit, Peter doesn't do that either with Vulture or Mysterio in the MCU films, but the difference is that they don't treat the situation as serious as it could with the stakes, because it's like, oh, there's an entire plane that's gonna crash, or like, oh my God, my friends are literally gonna die with these drones, and it's like, oh my God, if anything happens to me, give this to MJ, but it's like, you did not build up their relationship enough to make me care about Peter's connection with Mary Jane. Like, and all they did was like, oh, they have this little awkward chemistry, and that's it. You know, it's like, okay, but it's like, well, that's how high school is, right? It's like, I guess, but not for like these real moments of them, like life or death moments. Whereas like in Spider-Man 2, like he jokes with Otto in the bank, like spare some change, you know, like that's fun. But then like literally every other time afterwards, like in the wall fight on the side of the building, and then the train fight, and then the final fight, he's never joking. He's like, dude, I'm gonna literally try and stop you to save people. Like, you're gonna kill everybody.
Exactly.
Doc kind of shut down. Like, you know, like, well, that's a risk we're willing to take, because he's kind of joking around. But he's like, well, I'm not gonna let this happen. I'm not gonna let you kill my family, pretty much, my soulmate, you know, Mary Jane. And then Peter, he's like, oh my God, my friends are gonna die. But it's like, well, Peter, like, could you at least sound like a bit more like angry in the moment, or like, I don't know, like more like life or death, like, or at least make the characters themselves act like it's a life or death thing. Like, there was no jokes when Andrew was fighting Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, because Gwen was literally like moments away from dying every single second, right? So it's like, oh my God, I need to stop Harry right now, or else she's gonna kill Gwen, and he did by, you know, dropping her pretty much. I guess if you want to go that way, he dropped her from the web, and she let go because the clock snapped, and therefore he killed her by accident, whatever. That's like the trolley problem. Like, who really killed them? Is it you or them? Who knows? But basically what I'm saying is justify the tone of the situation to fit what the characters are going through. You know what I mean? So it's like, if Tom is fighting Doc Ock for the first time, Tom Holland's Spider-Man fighting Doc Ock for the very first time, and it's Alfred Molina's Doc Ock, then if he's like, doesn't know him or whatever, like, yeah, you can make a joke or whatever, like, fine, I guess. But then if there's like other Spider-Men there, and the multiverse is collapsing, like literally the entire multiverse, as something as big as multiple universes are collapsing on one another, then like you gotta act like this is like do or die.
Put your
you know?
hands up.
Yeah, this is like
put your
No Way Home, more like go big or go home. No, I'm kidding. But it's like, in all honesty, that's what it is. Like, if he's about to fight these different foes and possibly the Sinister Six, you know, in this movie, then I need them to reflect that in the tone that they're conveying. Let's see. So we're about to do the Crane mission, which is pretty sweet. It's 3:23. Have we been streaming for like hour and a half, maybe?
An hour, I think.
Okay. We'll try and stream a bit longer, but I'm going to do a base, and then we'll try and do, because I'm going to do a base to unlock another suit, and then we'll play the Crane mission in the Homecoming suit.
Okay, because another thing that my biggest worry with No Way Home, since it's going to be a multiverse movie, is that for the love of God, please don't change their personalities for Toby and Andrew. Don't change their character, like, personality or character tropes, because the worst thing is that let's just say that Toby does something very out of character for him, or if Andrew does something very out of character for him. That's like the one thing I'm very worried about, because imagine if, like, I don't know, like let's just say they're fighting Doc Ock, and then, like, I don't know, Toby says something that Toby in the old movies will never say.
Would never do, exactly.
Would never do.
That's what I'm worried about, dude. And that's why I don't understand why people aren't getting it, because it's like, I don't like what is kind of happening right now, where it's not like people are, like, unjustified to be excited. Like, they can be excited, but I don't see anyone, like, questioning it, like, oh my God, Alfred Molina's back. Oh my God, Norman Osborn's back. But they're not, like, worried on how that's going to affect the other movies, or just, like, how they're going to be portrayed. Because the reason why people like Alfred Molina's Doc Ock and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin isn't just because the actors played them. I mean, that's a huge part of it, but bear with me with this. It's because, well, you think, the writing was good. Their characters were good because they were written by different people. So, and I brought this up, I think, a while ago when I collaborated months ago, I think, all the way with Degenerate Jay on the channel, and it was going over, like, the hype and hesitation of this movie from what we knew. And what we said is it really going to be Tom Holland, or is it really going to be Alfred Molina's Doc Ock or Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin? Because they're not being directed or written by the same people as they were in those movies. You know? It's like a different writing and creative team. Exactly. Like, the reason why Andrew's Spider-Man is so good, or people like Andrew Spider-Man or Tobey Spider-Man is because of the portrayal from the writers and directors of those movies. Sam Raimi, who directed the Tobey films, and then Mark Webb for the amazing Andrew Garfield movies. So it's like if you bring them in for this, with John Watts and his writing team, my God, behind those two versions and these villains, is it really them? Like, is it really those same versions that you know and love? I would argue no. Like, it's like the same thing. Like, it's the same character with Peter in this game because it's played by Yuri Lowenthal, but he doesn't look the same because it's played by a different person. So it's the same exact situation there, but flipped. Instead of the story being different, with this, the game, the story is the same, just that he looks different. Like, he was recast for the same exact story, which makes it feel a bit jarring. But in that case, it's completely worse because it's the same actors in the same roles that they played previously, but their narrative inclusion may be completely different from how they were handled in the previous movies.
It's a different writing team.
You see what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, that's not too crazy to say.
Yes.
Correct. Like, that was so weird.
Yeah, and the fact that also John Watts, like, he's not really a big Spider-Man fan. He's more like an X-Men fan. I'm like, then why the hell are you directing a Spider-Man movie, bro? Like,
and that's the thing. I've seen people say, like, oh, I can't believe Tom Holland has never really read that much Spider-Man comics, which, in my opinion, that doesn't matter as much as the writer or director making a movie, because an actor is that. He's an actor. He's acting out a role that he can research and learn more about and kind of put his own spin on it, which is why I really love this game, because Yuri, I've interviewed in person. He is a Spider-Man fan, which is great, but he has admitted, like, hasn't kept up with some of the recent stuff or like some of the stuff that they use for this game because he just thought the script was so good as an actor. Like, he was able to dive into this game's role so seamlessly because the script was so well layered and so detailed to the character of Peter Parker, and him as an actor was able to slip into that role much better because he thought the writing was on par with that of like a big, massive blockbuster movie or something you would see in, like, you know, a really well-written television show. But it was a video game, and the game itself was able to convey that narrative so good because the script was so natural and organic for the Peter character. So again, here, if Tom Holland is acting well, which I'm sure he will, that's fine. That's on him to do a great job, and I'm sure he's gonna kill it. The writing and directing is what matters most, and if he's writing, if John Watts is and the writers are writing and directing these characters from other movies, not only do they have to keep consistent with how they were portrayed in those films, but they also have to continue the story in a way that makes sense from those movies decades ago in this brand new story that is for the modern day. So already that's setting up for failure. You know? Like, the reason why this is so good, this game, is because they didn't rely on the comics from Spider-Man's Dan Slott run, because, by the way, Dan Slott was a part of this game's writing team with Christos Gage because he helped create the Mr. Negative character, and they got Dan Slott's input for his narrative. But did they copy Dan Slott's narrative word for word from his runs? No. They just got him, like, for input in the comic lore of Mr. Negative's character. Like, okay, this is how Mr. Negative should be at a base value, but then we're going to make something different with his connection with Norman and Otto, and, you know, and how he's going to relate that to Peter and Aunt May, right? But the core stuff of his parents is still there, the negative energy is still there, the inner demons are still there, you know? So they kept the traits true because they used the source material in a way that made sense. This does not make sense. If all that, what I just said, like, is that, like, understandable enough? Because I think I've tried to describe it as best I can.
Yeah, like basic.
Exactly, Moritaka. Dan Slott was a consultant, not a writer. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to say, is that he did not write the game, but he was on there to help out the writers, like, flesh out further Mr. Negative's character. Like, so this is how we do it with Mr. Negative, and this is what you do with him in the comics. Like, yeah, that's exactly what they did for the writing team to individualize their own story. So the same thing is John Watts going to go back and talk to Sam Raimi and Mark Webb about how they portrayed these characters in the movies. and then just like, oh, is this true to the character in our world? Yeah.
I don't think they.
We'll have to see the trailer, but I mean the movie itself, not the trailer, because we did see Doc Ock in the trailer, but the movie we haven't seen yet. So I'm holding out hope, but again, like I do not know for sure right now if it's going to feel as organic as what people are thinking.
Yeah, like yeah, because the reason why I don't think like John was just gonna like consult Raimi or Webb to make sure that this is how Toby's Spider-Man should be handled, or this is how Andrew's Spider-Man should be handled, like because obviously those are different writers, and so obviously it's gonna be difficult to actually make sure that these versions of the same character are actually consistent with how they were portrayed in their movies, and so that's like my biggest
Why do you think people hate The Last Jedi so much compared to the other Star Wars movies?
Because
genuine question, genuine question. I already know the answer, but genuine question to you guys in the stream, but also Andrew and Franco and Ghosty. Why do you think? And I don't know if you guys like those. If you like The Last Jedi, that's fine. I'm not trying to diss your opinion on Star Wars or anything, or even Spider-Man. But just the majority consensus is not a fan of The Last Jedi. You have to be honest with that. That's just a fact. Is that the majority of people are not a fan of The Last Jedi? Why do you think that is? And I already know the answer, but tell me your thoughts. There we go. Right.
Civilians are trapped following a car accident. Officers needed near Kips Bay.
Car wreck down there.
Oh, Hunter apparently says we can't hear Andrew. Oh no.
Oh shit.
Oh well. Well, not well, but I mean, I hope you guys can. We kind of went back and forth when I was talking earlier. But Andrew, make sure that your mic is maybe turned on for other stuff. But you guys can hear Franco and me and Ghosty, can you?
Well,
in the stream, hope you're able to hear us. I'm sure you're able to hear me, but I think Franco and Ghosty, I hope, and Andrew, I hope you're able to hear too.
I can hear him.
Well, Franco, because you're in the party, but okay. Apparently they can hear you. Or hear me? I think so, but basically to keep you guys up to speed, if you didn't hear what Andrew was saying, he was saying that the Luke character pretty much felt disjointed from how he was in the other movies, right? Because he was very humble and wholesome and wise, right? And I agree, because that's exactly what Mark Hamill said. Luke himself said that in the interviews. He's like, I do not think Luke would say this or do this. And he didn't agree with Rian Johnson's vision of Star Wars. And that's kind of exactly what I expect from this, in the sense of how Peter may say something or do something in this movie that might not, again, feel as connected to what he should be doing in the movie universe of the Raimi films.
Yeah, and so
whoa, that guy went flying.
Pretty much, they pretty much basically ignore everything that Luke Skywalker did in the original trilogy, and so that's why his character just feels very disjointed and feel like a separate character in The Last Jedi. And I'm not the only one. And I'm not the only one, because even Mark Hamill himself has said that he's not a big fan of how they handled his character in The Last Jedi.
Because it didn't, and the reason why is not only because the writing was disjointed. Again, it's always with the writing. The actors have nothing to do with how the character or characters are portrayed, because they're just acting. They're just doing a role. But the narrative has to be connected in a way that makes sense for the character's arc and growth with their own story. So with the movie John Watts, that's the same thing again, because you can tell there's a clear difference with how the Russo brothers portray Spider-Man versus how John Watts portrays Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So that's why they felt weird with Homecoming and Far From Home versus, because here it was a back-to-back. It was a 50-50 switch. It was Russo Watts because it was Civil War, which was Russo, Infinity War. No, Civil War Russo, and then
Homecoming
Watts, Infinity War Russo, Endgame also Russo, and
then
for more of the Spider-Man stuff again for his solo outing, it was still Watts. So how he's acting in the Avengers film, notice how they did their own thing with Spider-Man, the Russos in Civil War, and then Watts did his own thing with Spider-Man solo movies in Homecoming, but then when we see Spider-Man in Infinity War, you see then that the Russos had to kind of accommodate for the Watts style of Peter Parker's writing. If you noticed, how he acted in the film was kind of similar in a way to what happened with his way, how he was portrayed in Homecoming, because it's a follow-up to that movie, so it has to appear concise. And the Russos are smart because they're trying to keep it on their own level in a way that would make sense for their film with the Avengers and how he interacts with how they interact with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's very like strange how the writing needs to be like concise enough to make sense for Spider-Man's character, his arc, his progression, but also for his own solo outings. And again, if you have Andrew and Toby in here, make them feel like their own original versions of the character that we knew from the other films instead of just doing something completely different with them.
Yeah. By the way,
Analog Maneuver, where's the puddle? Not in the remaster. I'm kidding. It's there somewhere.
Yeah. I was about to say, Evan, did you actually saw like the freaking Tobey Maguire figure that they leaked on a Target store or something?
So
on Twitter?
there's a Target nearby where I live. I went there to try and check if they had it, and they didn't. So I was like,
oh, wow.
Did someone take it already, or is it like not existing? But yeah, the Toby figure, I was like, I'll get to the bottom of this, but I didn't find anything.
Okay, what were you going to say, Andrew? Like, you were going to say something.
Oh boy. Let's see, can I get all three of them at once? Yeah, baby, I got all of them. Yes, right! Oh, Thessian, Thessian says that the figure is fake? I guess. I don't know for sure, because there was that literally, like, there was the meme that was online, like, there was, like, a person who was doing, like, detective work who did, like, a photo analysis of the picture with the figure, and apparently it was a real photo. So either A, the figure does exist and no one can find it, or B, someone was so desperate for news of the movie, and they desperately thought that that it's going to be a multiverse movie, that they made a custom Toby figure for No Way Home to put alongside the other figures just to kind of get clout, which is nuts.
That would be funny, actually. That would be funny. That's really funny. Jesus Christ.
It's hilarious.
But yeah.
Yes, about Kylo Ren. Right, hashtag Kylo Ren did nothing wrong. Yes. Right. You see...
Well, I got their attention. Better swing around the outside to look for Fist's men.
You see his growth of him trying to be... Exactly, you see this growth of him trying to accept... The whole thing is like, wow, no one really believed in Anakin to become a good person except for Luke himself, his only son, to redeem him from the dark side, because he was able to come back from such all the evil things he did. And granted, Ahsoka Tano was there too to kind of like try and help Anakin in Rebels. in that one scene, but she wasn't able to get through to him. But Luke was, because he genuinely felt like he could save him from the place he was in. And now he had that whole arc of him growing as a Jedi and like, you know what? No, I'm not my father, and I'm not you, evil Emperor Palpatine, who's super evil and one with the dark side, Sith Lord. No, I'm Luke Skywalker. I am my father's son, and I'm a Jedi, and I will not let your hatred infect me and pollute my mind, because I will do what it takes to save those I care about. Right? So there is a cohesive arc. That's what's called an arc. That's him growing and evolving over time. Meanwhile, in the freaking Last Jedi, is like, Kylo Ren's bad, therefore I'll kill him. Like, what the hell, dude? What are you talking about? Like, what happened to that Luke that we saw? So again, so that's the exact example that Andrew was talking about. So if we see like Toby in here, and he's like, I don't care about responsibility or whatever, something crazy like that. I don't care about pizza time, like something super out of character. Then that's where it's like, then I don't care about the bomb squad. I don't care about pizza time. I don't care about the putting some dirt in someone's eye. Then yeah, we got a problem, because that's not the same character that we knew and grew up with, and it's just a fake. It's just a fraud image of what we know it to be.
Yeah, I'll be like the.
You okay?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
Fisk, your men are safe. Your turn. Who runs the demons?
Maybe he's there. Maybe he isn't. Check the roof.
I've missed these cryptic Fisk talks.
Yeah. He literally says Star Wars is about family. Like, that's a whole core about trying to learn that the Force is all of us connected as one.
Hello again.
God, look at how bright that is, though, the scene for the, oh my god, the remaster of this moment is so bright. Oh god, it hurts my eyes.
I know.
Oof. Like what he says, it's like poetry. It rhymes. Yeah. Because it's true, though. It's the funny thing. Like, it's a joke that people look at it, but he's actually telling the truth. Like, it actually is a thing about, like, again, Franco, sorry, really quick, Andrew, Franco, the DualSense is non-existent during this scene. Like, I don't feel any tension during the webs or the crane. Like, that's really upsetting for me personally. Yeah. The whole moment where you're
I was so
tension
upset when I played that for the first time.
I know, but like reliving it right now. And anyone who's watching who doesn't have a PS5 yet, the DualSense is non-existent here with the vibrations and stuff. It's the same exact way in how it's used in the main game with the DualShock 4. Yeah. Oh my god, Ghost of Tsushima. Holy smokes. With how that's used in the game. With the sheathing of the sword and the flute and everything. Miles has done better. Granted, Miles has done way better with the DualSense, but not the remaster, which is kind of sad.
Disappointing.
And the brightness was so big or massive during that cutscene.
I'm getting reports of
I really wanted to get the sense of the DualSense. Well, that's fucking disappointing. Jesus Christ, no.
I know, that's what I was looking forward to the most. So yeah, but sorry, to cut you off, Andrew. I totally understand what you're talking about in the sense that the writing with George Lucas, it's poetry. It rhymes. Because it's true. Because it rhymes, because it's connected. Because it's a narrative that connects the characters to an arc that further develops them as people. And it makes sense.
Whoa, rockets!
Right.
I know.
And it was like, and it's funny because they say, like, you're the chosen one, Obi-Wan, and I know we're totally geeking about Star Wars right now, which I am an average Star Wars fan. Like, I know my Star Wars stuff sometimes. Like, I need to get more in the know about, like, Clone Wars and stuff and some aspects of Rebels, but for the most part, I totally know the majority of Star Wars. But when Obi-Wan is saying to Anakin, like, you were the chosen one, you're supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them, he's actually still right. Because he redeems himself and stops Palpatine. And it's like, even though Luke, like, Luke was the chosen one, like, well, kind of, but Anakin, in the way, still redeems himself from his dark side as Vader and embraces the light thanks to the love he felt from Luke, right? So he goes that whole journey thinking that he's the bad guy or under the impression that he's the only way that can be done is to join the dark side and whatever, the Sith, and thinks the Jedi are evil. Like, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. Like, well, you are lost. So it's like, well, it's just a difference of conflict and opinion, but it depends on how you feel about the the perspective of what they're going for. He still is the chosen, exactly, Thessian, he still is the chosen one at the end of the day. So the same day, is Peter still, and we say this all to say, is Peter really still Spider-Man if he's trying to avoid Iron Man? And it's like, well, if they conveyed the narrative in a way that made sense, I'd agree. But right now, it's like, I don't really know. Because it's they backpedaled a lot from his arc in Civil War, and then his arc in Homecoming.
Yeah.
And Far From Home, I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
Need a plan. Plan real fast.
Right. Sorry.
I guess this is the plan. Come on, Pete. You got this. You got this.
Yes. So therefore, exactly, is there any hope for the Skywalker lineage? Like, are they cursed or whatever? Yeah, because if you watch it from like Phantom Menace to not Last Jedi, disgusting. Return of the Jedi, you get that cohesive narrative that's like, wow, is the Skywalker lineage cursed? Pretty much, like, are they are always destined to fail or fall to the dark side? No, because they can break out of it. They can stop the cycle of darkness, because Luke can learn the mistakes of what Anakin did and rise above it.
Might want to bring a ladder.
So the same thing.
Yo, Miles.
Right.
Hey, fanboy. Oh crap! I'm late. You coming? Nah, I gotta get to City Hall for my dad.
He's there.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like.
Congrats.
Exactly, and right.
MJ, did they start the ceremony yet?
They're still setting up. Where are you?
Got hung up at work.
Yes. He's doing it again. Yes. Same thing. Right. That's why he says, yeah, like, if you strike me down, I'm trying to do like a Darth Vader, like, this might sound like Bane, but he's like, if you strike me down, you shall become more powerful than you've ever imagined, or something like that, because he's like, hatred, power, that runs through you, that fuels your hatred and power of the Force, and the dark side can amplify that. But he's like, no, I'm not my father. I'm a Jedi. Like my actual father before me, Anakin, not Darth Vader, but Anakin Skywalker, the hero, the Jedi savior, not the monster of Darth Vader. Exactly. So, I agree. Yes. Oh, what? Wait, guys, this is. Dang. Apparently they still can't hear Andrew. I'm not sure why.
That's weird.
Oh wait, but they.
I don't know why.
Says I can hear him now. Says Jason. Yeah.
Trying to see like the party settings if there's
But like, okay, so basically to recap what Andrew was trying to say, it basically is like, because if Luke Skywalker were to end up being were to keep fighting his dad, his father, he will basically end up on the same path as his dad did, because he sees how like he has like the same robotic hand on the same arm as he does, and so
right.
So that basically that lets believe that that he and Darth Vader, of course, Anakin, if he were to like be on the dark side, he will basically just end up on the same path as his father.
Right.
And so,
Wait, so before we get going, are you guys able to hear Ghosty who's talking right now, or just me? Have you been able to hear any of you guys, any like Franco, Ghosty, or Andrew throughout the entirety of the party? Because
let me check.
I wonder why that would not happen, because we made sure, Franco and I, that the party settings were optimized properly for...
I checked the stream.
Yes.
I checked the stream and I can hear my voice. So I can hear my voice. So
Okay, weird. So they're only not able to hear Andrew for some reason. But yeah, basically, Andrew was talking a lot about the dichotomy of the life led by Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars trilogy and Anakin in the prequel trilogy, and how their narratives collided with one another in a really great poetic way, like that meme George Lucas like, it's poetry. It rhymes. Because it's true in the sense that it connects to the narratives of each of these characters to allowing them to grow and develop over their arcing narratives through each of the films. And that's where we're connecting that to Spider-Man, because we hope that if they bring in Tobey or Andrew, they need to connect the narrative to either how they're going to be in these movies and connect to Tom in a way that is cohesive, structured well, and makes sense to the story at hand with this multiverse stuff. So that's kind of what Andrew's going at.
Okay.
Oh, someone donated. I didn't even see. The Amazing Webhead, thank you so much. If Toby and Andrew are out of character in the movie, then I'm going to leave the theater. P.S. You're one of my favorite YouTubers ever. And thank you, The Amazing Webhead. $5 donation, that's very kind of you. I agree. And that's what I've said. Previously I mentioned I did a video with Degenerate J on my channel like a few months ago, pretty much, saying that exact thing. Like, if they do anything out of character for Toby or Andrew, then it's not going to feel the same, because it's not the reason. Keep this in mind. The reason why people like those movies so much is, again, because they were written and directed by that team, by Sam Raimi and his writers, and by Mark Webb and his writers doing Tobey and Andrew's versions. And they know exactly. They know the character of Spider-Man to a T. They understand the trials and tribulations he faces. They understand the relatability he goes through. They understand he's always not a happy-go-lucky guy. And again, what Bill Roseman said perfectly, which is my personal favorite creator to have talked about Spider-Man on these big projects, is when Spider-Man wins, Peter loses. When Peter wins, Spider-Man loses. The duality of them together really fleshes out those characters to make them feel like two separate people, even though they're not. They're one and the same. And that's the struggle. That's the exact, crux of the matter that Peter has to deal with balancing that life that he has one day at a time. That's why we see several comics of him, and even Miles Morales, quitting to being Spider-Man. No more, Spider-Man, no more. I hate being Spider-Man. It's terrible. It's ruining my life. But at the end of the day, he still is that guy, because he has to be for the people he loves. And that's what I hope that Tom can understand. Wow, I can't go on vacation, Ned. Well, he's saying in Far From Home the entire time, which pissed me off so much. He's trying to go on vacation, Ned. I gotta go hang out with my wannabe girlfriend I have no chemistry with whatsoever. So he's doing this.
By the way,
he's doing one thing and saying a different thing, which is what I don't understand. It's not connected in a way that makes sense. So in this movie, he's like, oh my god, my identity's out there. And what the leaked trailer showed is that they're doing a one more day Spectacular Spider-Man episode type thing where everyone's staring him down as Peter, as Spider-Man, staring down Peter as Spider-Man. Wow, this Parker kid Spider-Man? What does that mean? And then they cut, which I love about the Spectacular Spider-Man episode, where they have all the villains in the Rikers, and he's Ned, the actual Ned Leeds, the journalist reporter Ned Leeds, not Genki, but Ned Leeds is actually in there with his audio recorder talking to the villains. And he's so what would you do if Peter was Spider-Man? He's I don't know about this Parker kid, but trust me, every guy in the joint would know what to do with that info. Because they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him and his family. It's such an intense, real thing. And his loved ones. So it's dude, you have to convey that to me to actually make me worried about Peter and his well-being. Oh my god, they're going to murder him. They're going to murder Peter's entire life. They're going to go after Aunt May. They're going to go after Ned and Mary Jane. They're going to go after the school. What if they just blow up the school? Why not? He attends there. They don't care about the civilians.
Blow up the school.
If they have Matt Gargan there or something, why not? They just can do. They can though. The real thing is they can because they're villains, not Vulture, because he seems like he wants to be on Peter's side, he respects him for saving him. But Matt Gargan in the movie's universe doesn't give a crap. He wants to murder Spider-Man. It's that's a genuine issue that could be addressed in the movie and brought up to convey stakes. to make it feel like it's a serious thing that's going on that they need to address and fix. And that's why, like, oh my god, you know, Doctor Strange. Like, the whole reason why he goes to Doctor Strange in One More Day is because Aunt May is dying, right? That's the whole reason in One More Day that caused that. And then Mephisto comes in, he's like, I can actually do what Doctor Strange can't do because I have more power than him. But he's like, well, it's at a cost because he wants to ruin their marriage because he's like, you know, their marriage being Mary Jane and Peter Parker's marriage because, like, it's the most purest thing in the Marvel Universe. Think about this. And they had, like, it's kind of unfair because the games and movies and comics and whatever don't have enough time to flesh out a character's relationship as much as an ongoing comic book series, right? So there's not a lot of relationship chemistry between Peter and Mary Jane yet within these MCU films compared to the original comics. But in the comics, it's like Peter's love for Mary Jane is so pure and so light in the sense, like, it's so, like, not holy, but, like, in the sense it's, like, so honest and genuine. Like, the passion and care they have for one another and the genuine love they have is real. And it's, like, the most real thing that's in that entire universe. It's so real, in fact, that a demonic entity like Mephisto wants to tear it apart to keep it for himself in order to have more power over the universe. So he's saying, I'm going to destroy your marriage so that way you can save Aunt May. But in order to save her, you have to sacrifice the one that you love the most, which is your entire life with Mary Jane. And even, like, they show, like, there's the alternate realities they show of Peter. Like, what if you were not Spider-Man? What if you never met Mary Jane? And there's the one where they meet this girl who's, like, Mephisto's trying to disguise himself. Like, what's this girl doing? Like, we don't really know what's going on with this little young lady. And shocker, it's the daughter that they would have had if they didn't break up, or if they didn't do this deal with Mephisto. They would have had a daughter. So it's like, and then One More Day ruined everything because of the whole stuff with Superior Spider-Man and Brand New Day, and god damn. Oh, man. Yes, Renew Your Vows is so much better, Andrew. Yes. So, and I all bring that up because, exactly, Andrew's correct. If you guys can't hear him, Andrew's saying, like, the Renew Your Vows storyline is so much better than the One More Day storyline because it actually does that scenario where Peter and Mary Jane are together and have a daughter, but they don't need to sacrifice anything to keep their relationship afloat because they can get through it together, right? But it's like, you know, One More Day has that story because Peter genuinely is about to lose Aunt May's life. And it's like, even though he loves Mary Jane and his friends, he, like, Aunt May's his mom. You know, Aunt May is the woman who raised him from birth, pretty much, even though his parents were there. But as a kid, Peter was still being, like, the surrogate son to Aunt May. Like, it's a nephew, but really it's her son. It's a mother-son relationship that Aunt May and Peter have with one another. And that's why it's so wholesome, but that's why Mephisto's, like, willing to sacrifice Mary Jane's life because he knows how much Aunt May means to Peter. So where is any conflict besides the fact that Peter's identity is out there that arises him to go to Doctor Strange just because he can't handle the pressure? Yeah, like, he only goes to Doctor Strange after Aunt May is already hospitalized and is about to die. So that's where he's like, oh my god, my identity has caused such a problem for the people in my life that it's a massive problem that I can't live a normal life anymore, and my family is about to die because of me, right? So, nothing like that, at least in the leaked trailer that we saw, has happened yet. Even with Spectacular Spider-Man, there was no Doctor Strange in Spectacular Spider-Man because that was the same thing. The same exact thing happened in Spectacular Spider-Man, where, you know, Peter's identity was potentially leaked, and he tried to have people, like, you know, like, not, like, doubt him, like, oh, you know, I'm not Spider-Man. I swear to God, I'm not Spider-Man. Don't believe that guy who's calling himself Venom? Yeah, that's a really name that inspires trust, because he's trying to downplay it so badly, because it's true, he is Spider-Man, so he doesn't want that reality to get out to the public. But did he go in Spectacular Spider-Man to a sorcerer to try and mind wipe everybody? No, he just played it off, because it's like he used his intellect to try and work around things and not try and take the easy way unless he really needed to. So in No Way Home, if they're genuinely going the One More Day route, I need, like, honestly, if you're doing one more day, then just do one more day. Have Aunt May get shot, have Ned get shot, have someone get hurt or something that can't be saved. It's like, Doctor Strange, oh my god, my family, you know, my friends, they're all in danger now because I am Spider-Man and my secret's out there. So can you please stop the danger of me getting anyone else hurt? Can you erase people's memories of them knowing I'm Spider-Man? And, like, I don't know if those Lego sets are real, but we saw, like, there was that mecha Scorpion robot in the Sanctum Sanctorum. So does that mean that Scorpion might invade the Sanctum Sanctorum in this movie's narrative? And then they'll fight Peter, like, okay, Doctor Strange, I almost died because this guy tried to kill me knowing that I'm Spider-Man. So if they do something like that, like, wow, so they really are now about to find out that Peter is Spider-Man. So then they can do, like, okay, that's pretty serious. So now, Doctor Strange, you should probably stop what's going on here and do the mind wipe spell or whatever. But if they just do it just to do it, like, oh no, the multiverse is colliding and oh, I caused a problem. Whoops! It's like, really? Like, you need a more what that's called is anyone who's like in the writing class or something or just knows anything about standard story structuring. That's called a catalyst. It's an event that causes a shift in the narrative that is the focal point of how this issue started in the first place. So there needs to be a catalyst event, not just that, oh, this guy, because what it is like it's like he says, she says. You know, like, oh, Mysterio says I'm Spider-Man. Okay, well, where's your proof? Yeah, exactly. There is no proof. So shut your mouth. Story finished. There is no evidence to prove that Tom Holland's Spider-Man. There's, I guess, indications, like, oh, you weren't at the Washington, D.C. thing, you were always gone during our trip in Europe and Prague and all of our places that we visited. There's no, like, hardcore evidence, at least not what I know, of him being Spider-Man, right? So there has to be a catalyst event that really sends things in motion to say, oh my god, Peter is 110% Spider-Man, and not just Mary Jane, like, discovering it to be the case, like, oh, I know you're Spider-Man, and that's it. Like, what the hell was that, dude? That was such a lackluster way to reveal it in Far From Home. But it actually matter in the grand scheme of things, and display an event that shows, like, oh my god, like, Aunt May knows Peter's Spider-Man, who always played it off as a joke in Far From Home, which was idiotic, but have it be realistic in this point in the story, and be like, wow, oh my god, Peter is Spider-Man, but there was a thug at my door because he found out where Peter lived, and he held a gun to my head. So it's like, I don't know.
You take it from here, officers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Me too.
Yeah, I swear it.
Right. That's why I wish, like, I just want, like, if they're going to do a multiverse thing, yeah, exactly. Like, if they're going to do a multiverse thing, do it like the fourth Tom Holland movie. Like, I want him to have his trilogy, and again, we talked about this earlier, like, well, they did the same thing with Civil War, Captain America Civil War, and that was a Captain America movie. Yeah, but, again, that's in the universe, which is a big difference. That's a huge jump the shark stupid comparison, which I don't think people understand. Like, they're in the universe. The Avengers exist in the Captain America universe of the Marvel of his series. Like, it's not out of the blue for them to reference the Hulk or Thor or whatever in a movie, but then having them in the film is a bit more excessive because that's, like, technically an Avengers movie at that point, but it's still, again, if you focus in Captain America, then yeah, it's a Captain America movie. You're bringing back two separate Spider-Men from two separate universes in this movie. Do you really think the highlight of the movie is going to be Tom Holland? No. No. At the end of the day, no. I don't think so. And I don't. You can argue with me all you want, and I would gladly accept a rebuttal. But the fact of the matter is, when people, the whole entire time I've seen the marketing for this movie on YouTube videos, clickbaiting and doing nonsensical thumbnails and stuff like, No Way Home leak, trailer leak, screenshot leak. Look at the leak. It's all. What do you think? What do you see in the thumbnail? What do you see in the thumbnail? I'm not even kidding. What do you see in the thumbnail? You see Toby. You see Andrew. You see Alfred Molina. I haven't seen a whole thumbnail once display frickin' Tom Holland only. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, you know. But...
Folks, you've heard me express grave
There's literally leaks. Exactly, Andrew. There's literally leaks right now. Visual photographic evidence. The New York Department, State of Photographic Department, whatever Robbie Robertson meme confirms it, right? There's actual leaks of photos of them in the suits. And what do you think they're talking about on social media right now? Do you think they're hyped for Tom Holland to be in this movie? No. Every post I've seen, oh my God, they're like crying in tears. Oh my God, Andrew's back. Oh my God, Toby's back. It's like, dude, if they make sense, then sure, I'm excited, I guess, because I love both their versions. But does it make sense from a logical perspective? No. It's just fan service.
No. I'm like the best.
And I'm not here for it.
The only thing I'm gonna do in the theater is just gonna drink bleach, whatever they appeared on.
Oh my God, Ghosty, please no. They already have the crate challenge. They have the crate challenge going on right now for the latest meme. Don't go back to the drink bleach challenge.
Oh my God, no! But I just cannot, because I swear to God.
I know, but again, if you're excited for the movie, more power to you. And I really got to iterate this because, again, so many people are so triggered so easily nowadays about anything I say about MCU Spider-Man. If you, Person A, are excited about, if you, Person A, are excited about Spider-Man, No Way Home, I am so 110% happy for you. Me as a person, just personally think that there is a very slight possibility that the overall narrative structure that is being set forth within this movie will not make sense. I have to wait until I see the movie for myself to determine that for sure. I'm just saying that right now as a hypothetical situation. It does not seem like that I am currently going to enjoy what this is. Maybe the trailer will convince me otherwise, but if it's trailer that they're going to possibly reveal tonight is the same trailer that was already leaked, then yeah, I kind of have my issues still stand fully.
Yeah, like I feel like the story of this movie is gonna make less sense than Rise of Skywalker.
It has to be like, I don't know, like it's not as bad as like fan fiction come to life, but I mean like, Izzy, no! Come on, dude. Literally, did you hear anything I said? Evan, you really dislike MCU Spider-Man, don't you? To each their own, I guess. No, I don't. I'm just not a fan of some of the narrative choices they've done for Far From Home. I love Tom in Civil War. I think he was great in Civil War. I think he was great in the Avengers movies. He is excellent. He's a wonderful actor. I just don't like the writing that they're doing for this particular iteration. The writing does not feel cohesive enough to connect in a way that makes structural sense. And that's all I'm saying. Anyways.
Someone in the chat says, but your issue... someone in the chat says, but your issue doesn't make sense. Everyone talks about how Tom Holland when talking about the new movie and everyone's paying attention to him. But it's like... In a
way, like, you could say, like, from the suits, like, I will give you that, and, like, the new suits he's going to wear, yeah, Tom Holland's going to be an interesting, like, way to sell toys for the new merchandise figures that are going to be there. But, again, has the entire point, when this movie was first teased or leaked or whatever to be a multiverse movie, has any of the talk been about Tom's conclusion narrative for this third, movie in this MCU series for Tom's story? I guess in some instances, but the majority of the discussion points have always been Toby's back, Andrew's back, we're going to get them back, oh my God, I'm crying. Like, I've seen literally word for word people say that on Twitter and online. So I don't know where you're looking, but you could, for the most part, I'm assuming people are interested to look at Tom. I'm not saying that they're not excited for Tom. They are obviously excited to see how Tom's story is going to continue, but the main element that they're looking forward to the most is the multiverse stuff with Toby and Andrew. Because then, again, they're going to have, like, people come in and say, whoa, we're going to get Spider-Man 4! We're going to get The Amazing Spider-Man 3! It's like, no, you're not! Because that's not how this is going to work. So...
That's not how... Oh my God.
Bro, well, honestly, maybe for the movies, or at least for the MCU stuff. But no, I've tried to make my point as concise and clear as possible. So if people just want to look back at the stream, listen to what I was talking about, then maybe you'll understand my perspective. I don't hate Tom Holland. I don't even hate John Watts, shockingly enough. I'm just not a fan of how he is the writer or main director, I guess, and the writers on his team portrayed this Spider-Man. And that's all. And if you love that version, this version of the character, more power to you.
Yeah, like, I feel like, oh my God, like...
Holy shoot. Absolutely. Exactly. Don't feel like you can't, or don't feel like that I am mitigating your hype for the movie because I personally have concerns with it. That's never been my stance on anything. If you're excited for something and I'm not, like the Avengers game, for example, that's a big one, then I'm very happy for you to be excited. I just have a different perspective on how I view the experience for the movie and how it's going to turn out, and I just hope that it'll be a worthwhile experience at the end of the day.
Yeah, like I feel like, oh my god, like I feel like because like the worst thing is that imagine if like if No Way Home becomes like the most successful Spider-Man movie ever made, that would be just bad.
And even if you're like disagreeing with me, I encourage like at least if it's like a respectful discussion that we can have as normal human beings instead of just immediately going to hate like Spider-Man hater, what a freaking non-believer fan. Spider-Man shill, Spider-Man Sony pony, Spider-Man hater, you're like, it's either one of the other guys. I can't be both. So it's like, if you don't resort to that, then it's fine. But it's like, I encourage genuine debates about if things that are, what we like and don't like about Spider-Man's portrayal, not just in movies, but also games and other media.
They just want to tear this
like here's the things that Evan hates when it comes to Spider-Man. Okay, here it comes.
Edge of Time?
Number one.
Right, Ghosty.
Far From Home.
Okay, wait. There's 5. Okay, here, wait. Perfect little time to take a quick break and have a mini game. This is bonus round, bonus round of Evan's 5 least favorite Spider-Man items in media. So in the chat, everyone can play at home. You will win an official no prize if you get any of these answers right for this question. So. Official no prize from you to me. I'm just kidding. I'll give you a high five if I ever meet you in person. And a thumbs up in the chat.
An air high five.
And a high five, a hug maybe. Maybe not with COVID, but also just with a good thumbs up at the end of the day. So, bonus round. Evan's top 5 least favorite things that Evan Falarka hates within Spider-Man media. Ghosty go. So I think I already gave one away. That's Edge of Time. So, yeah, Resident Evil player guy, Edge of Time. So, that's number 1. What do you think number 2 is? I guess you don't have to guess in like the order of least favorite to worst favorite. Like Spider-Man always says the top 5 or bottom 5, however that works, like that in the game. Like so, bottom 5, number 1 on the list in no order, I guess, is Edge of Time. So what are the other 4? What do you guys think? I see someone answering already in the chat. I see someone answering it already in the chat.
Far From Home.
Yes, there you go. That's number 2. So number 1, Edge of Time. Number 2, Far From Home.
Oh, I know one.
One More Day.
Okay, that's another one. Ghosty got it. One More Day.
I'll let Andrew go, and then I'll say what I want. Go ahead.
So 3 down, 2 to go. Edge of Time, Far From Home, One More Day, and 2 other ones.
Remastered face model.
There you go. Yeah, that's actually number 1. That's actually number 1. That is hilarious.
Spider-Man cartoon.
Spider-Man
cartoon.
That is not. That is one. I was not thinking of that one as the other one though on the list. But I'm definitely not a fan of the Marvel Spider-Man cartoon. But there's actually another one that makes the list. So again, Edge of Time, not necessarily, but there's Edge of Time, Far From Home, One More Day comic, new Peter remastered face. Sorry, Ben Jordan. No disrespect to you. Just I love John Bubniak. What's the last one? Because there's one more.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 game.
Surprisingly, no, because I hate Edge of Time more. Shocker.
Oh, wow.
Spider Edits answered Spider-Man Twitter. That is hilarious. That is actually a pretty valid answer, but no. Oh, No Way Home. That is incredible. That is a great answer, but no, actually, there's shockingly one more. That's a good one. I do not like that one at all, but yes. What's his name again? Michael something? No, Mike Vaughn for the voice actor. He's not good, but I don't necessarily hate him. But no, that's not on the list. You're getting really close, I will say.
Since past the storyline where a Green Goblin went.
Oh my God, no! That'd be insane. Here, thumbnail. You guys can use that as a thumbnail for any streams you guys want to do for thumbnail for No Way Home thumbnails.
Black Cat after Superior Spider-Man.
I'll leave that on screen a little bit. Well, we'll leave this on screen until we can figure this out. So, No Way Home, Far From Home, Edge of Time, One More Day, New Peter Face, and there's one left. Least favorite 5, bottom 5 least favorite Spider-Man media pieces.
Black Cat after Superior Spider-Man.
Yes, dude. Yes, bro. The disrespect, bro. Ghosty got it. So, guys, in order from I would say least favorite to like worst of all time. So it's like none of these are good. So it's just like which one is like the least worst, right? So from least worst to most worst, right? Least worst is probably Edge of Time because I love the voice acting from Josh Keaton and Chris Daniel Barnes. I just hate the story in that game so much, and the game itself. I think again it will work much better as a animated movie than a game because the gameplay is such a step down from Shared Dimensions. After that, so like least favorite, least favorite to closer least favorite is One More Day because I do like the build up to that story. I just am not a fan of how it was executed with, of course, what led up to after that with all the stuff. Number 3, of course, the Black Cat disrespect with her character and what they did with Felicia Hardy in just after that with what Peter Superior Spider-Man just totally messing her character arc with the whole mobster stuff, and she was. You guys know me if you've seen any of my radioactive replays with Spider-Man 2 or whatever, even this game with the live streams. Erica Lindbeck, Black Cat. Oh my God, Be Still My Heart. But yeah, Black Cat as a character was done so dirty with how she was portrayed in the comics post Superior Spider-Man or during this whole Superior Spider-Man stuff. Number 2, so getting closer to the worst stuff, Far From Home. Least favorite Spider-Man movie, think it's garbage. And of course, lastly is The Face, because I love John. No disrespect to Ben, I'm slowly getting used to it, but I would still choose John in a heartbeat. And I interviewed him in person, so I'm biased. So I'm therefore, right off the bat, I'm biased.
Oh my God, I can't believe I actually got.
So you guys were close, you guys all win. An official Evan Falarka no prize. Congratulations. Did a great job. Huzzah.
I win, I get.
You win. Yes. No, but that was fun. That was insane.
I got 5 actually. That's insane. That means that I know.
Let's see, Spider Edits. Honorable mention. Yeah, honorable mention. That's a perfect honorable mention. Spider Edits. Spider-Man Twitter. Absolutely.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh, we got.
Oh my God, like that. Yeah.
God, that should be honestly number 1 on everyone's list.
Yeah, Spider-Man Twitter is like just the freaking worst thing that ever happened to Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like I was like.
So the thing is, and I understand because a lot of people are passionate, and that's not to diss on the community of Spider-Man fans, because we all have our preferences, we all have our opinions. But if you say one thing out of line for certain groups of people, mainly what I've experienced personally with the MCU community, which is why I'm mainly a gamer instead of a movie reviewer, is man, if you do not like something about some of those films, then you're just just ostracized from everything. You're enemy number 1. Yeah, you're not a fan. You're not a true advocate of Spider-Man. Even though I've said numerous times, even during this live stream, I love Tom Holland's portrayal in Civil War. I think he's a great actor. Yeah. I'm just not a fan, and I'm looking forward to if No Way Home is good. I just don't. Am currently not a fan of the writing decisions they've done with some of his story elements in the previous movies, mainly with Far From Home. But if you say something, but if you say that, if I everything I just said right there, that was very wholesome. That was very calm. That wasn't disrespectful to the community, because I've said numerous times, do you guys have a different opinion? I fully respect it, and I appreciate your honesty and open, critical, feedback to me, because I appreciate that we can have a conversation about it, right? Because I love that encourages discussion, that encourages feedback, and possibly maybe a change of opinion, a change of stance. Maybe you'll be able to convince someone that maybe something is good that's not good, or something that's bad that maybe isn't good. So that allows for more wholesome, wholesome civil conversations that are respectful and genuine for what we know and love about this character. And that's what we try and do in the Spy Squad community all the time, and especially when doing charity streams to help and give back to the community that we love so much, because you guys are what drive us forward, and that's what means the most to us as fans and as a community at large. So with that, that's fine. But then you get like pitchfork at the ready, like protesters, like getting ready like the French Revolution style, get your head on a pike type of like critics, like you are a disgrace, you have no rights here, like oh my god. So those people like I gotta look out for.
Or maybe I'm just a guy who doesn't.
Yes. So what I've said on this whole stream is like it's so I saw someone say like, and I say this all because I saw a comment. Let me see if I can find it. Jacqueline Pignol. Shout out to Jacqueline Pignol, who I was able to interview, who's amazing. I saw someone in the stream like, how could you call this a hype stream for the movie when you're only hating on it? It's like you haven't listened to anything of the stream then if you're thinking. So I don't even have to explain myself on that one. Yeah. Spider Edits, will I react to the trailer live? So I mean, live by the time it's out, like publicly, sure, because it won't be a live thing. It's out, like it'll just be posted. Then I'll react to it initially. But if it's the same exact trailer that was posted, during yesterday with the leak, then I might just like watch it again and like give my thoughts. Like, so we'll see if my thoughts change or if I'm able to see stuff better. Then yeah, but right now it's like we don't know for sure if it'll be anything different from the leak. But I think for the most part it's the same thing as the leak trailer. It'll just be like finished with the visual effects.
Yeah, someone in the chat, Spider Edit says, someone on Twitter is a war zone in real life.
Yeah. And again, that's no disrespect to the fans, because they all have, like, when I say fans, I mean, like, genuine, nice, calm, level-headed people that understand what an opinion is, not the people who, like, ugh, you don't like the new face? Get out of here, you frickin' idiot. Like, you're the worst person. Like, you are public enemy number 1 through 1 million. You are an evil person. Like, I'm literally just stating an opinion, sir. That is not disrespectful. I'm just trying to give my own thoughts. And that's all I hope they understand is what it is. And every time, it's like, when I state about No Way Home or whatever, I never am like, you're dumb for liking it. No, it's like, you can like it and like it as much as you want. I'm just saying it's different from how I personally view it. So same thing, like here, I will say, graphically, again, and this is where we can have a conversation. Graphically, in this scene in particular, all the character models, including Ben Jordan, look wonderful. Like, the graphical detail on them look insanely good. It's just that the visual conveyance of that older Spider-Man, who's been like this for 8 years in this game's universe, who's 23 years old, who should be super exhausted by doing this whole time. His hair should be disheveled, always having to go and balance his life as Peter and Spider-Man consistently. I don't get that with this model. So that's just an opinion, and people can like it or not like it, but none of that was disrespectful to Ben or the artist at Insomniac. It's just a difference of opinion. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're just...
Right. I love this scene, though. We're going to do it where Miles comes in. He can take a selfie with dead Peter on the ground. We're going to do that. Oh, man.
I saw you do that. On Twitter.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, my God.
Mr. Negative, no. TJ, hey, Evan, did you see the leak photos of Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, and Jamie Foxx as the villains? Yes, I have. They look good. I mean, Willem Dafoe never ages. So there's that. But then Alfred Molina is using the de-aging stuff for, Doc Ock. But then Jamie Foxx is always a king, and he's wearing like a construction jacket, it looks like, that's green and yellow. So,
I mean, that's probably just civilian clothes, like, it's not his actual costume.
Okay, I was gonna say, because it's like, yeah, they can't do, like, the ultimate blue Electro again, because that's directly from the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but if they just do, like, here's a jacket, you're Electro now. Like, what the heck, dude?
Like, he could just
what is happening?
Construction, like, equipment, just like a crane or...
And that's
like
actually a little criticism I have with the Spider-Man PS4 Electro, where he has that cool jacket, but he's just a yellow t-shirt underneath. Like, he's like, how do you like my new suit? Like, what, you mean the jacket? Like, I guess it's cool. Like, I mean, you just got a jacket on. That's kind of a suit, but you don't have, like, anything else going on.
From Walmart?
Where'd you get the t-shirt? Yeah, exactly. Kmart? Freaking Walmart? Freaking a dollar store, I guess. Like,
Jamie Foxx has the drip.
You could have a bargain bin or something. Did you go and shop with Macklemore at the thrift store? I don't know. Like, like Peter's just gonna defeat Electro with roasting. That's all it is. So, He's like, what? And where'd you get those shoes? The flea market? Oh my god, I don't know. Like, it's insane how little of that. It's from IKEA.
Like a rap battle.
Let's see. Ba-boom! Hero of the century. Let's see where I get the brightness up. Correct.
Yeah.
See, how do I get the light on here?
Take it.
Selfie light.
Oh my god.
Boom,
Evan.
intensity.
Oh my god.
Here we go. Here they are. That light's not really doing it. Hold on, we gotta get a better. Let's say it with me. Miles Morales is canceled for getting Peter killed like this. No, I'm kidding.
No.
He's just out here like, you know what? I don't have any powers in this. I don't have any say in the matter. My mom's got injured, and therefore this random man is on the street in pain. Therefore, we got this going on.
This would be Evan in real life if he were to do it.
This is no. You know what this is? You can you can do like a little Twitter edit right here. This is me. So Miles right now is Spider-Man Twitter. Peter is me once I say something negative about No Way Home. Where I'm gonna get. So there's gonna be like a whole flood of people. Like if I say that trailer was all right, there's gonna be a whole army of pitchfork people out there going to get me with my divisive opinion, and that'll be me, Peter, dead on the floor, not able to breathe, not able to move an inch.
Well, we have
Over there.
Mary Jane is the Spidey Squad trying to bring me back to life, but I'm just still dead on the floor. So it's too late, guys. Yeah. I wouldn't want to drag you guys out there with me to risk your life with my final say so. Oh man. Yes. That's incredible.
Yeah. Oh my
Posted
god.
during the
Twitch.
So and by the way, I love when people say like, oh, Evan never stops talking about the MCU Spider-Man, how much he hates it. Like, literally the last time I talked about MCU Spider-Man before all this No Way Home stuff happened was probably, like, when they included the suits in the game, like, during Far From Home, and also the leaks. Like, each time they showed a new leak for the MCU movie with No Way Home, I talked about it, because that's literally my job as a content creator. But, like, never, like, went out of my way and said, like, man, remember how bad Far From Home was? Like, I don't think I've ever done that once, just out of the blue nowhere, because I keep that to myself. I just say, like, in my own personal mind, like, man, really didn't like Far From Home. But I never say Far From Home was a terrible movie objectively, like, my statement is fact. No, I just say I'm not a fan of it. And me, as a person, Evan Falarka, think that movie is bad. But I don't think the movie is bad itself. I just think I personally am not a fan of how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, TJ's right. Evan, that No Way Home trailer is pretty alright. Also, Evan, why do I hear boss music? Yeah. That's accurate. I'm gonna hear the Doc Ock battle theme at the end of the game from
You're gonna hear the Persona 5 Royal Final
Yo!
Battle.
I hear Maruki. Dude, I'm gonna hear Maruki's battle theme. Throw your mask away. Keep your faith. Oh my god. Wow. I think that will happen though. I think people are like saying that Marvel Spider-Man 2 will include the No Way Home suits. I think we have to wait a while until that game comes out, and I don't think it would be against Insomniac's regimen of what they're currently developing to kind of take time, and just what they did with the MCU suits in this game already. They just took the 3D CG render of the suits from the movies and incorporated that into the game's character models, right? So we have two massive suits with the black and gold suit and the integrated suit as major costumes that could be included in Marvel's Spider-Man now, in the PS4 version of the remaster for free. So I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be absolute kings. Absolute kings if they were to do that.
You just started a war. You're not welcome here anymore.
World War III.
Exactly.
We started a World War III.
You just caused something you can never fix. World War Spidey. Spider-Geddon confirmed in live action. Whoa, what the? I thought this guy wasn't going to be able to see Miles.
Oh.
Whoops.
Oh my God.
That was
Billy
disappointing.
Billy Mills in the chat says, anyone else wants the Insomniac Spidey to be added in the Avengers game?
Well, they already confirmed it's a different version of the character of Spider-Man in the Avengers game. However, I've said this numerous times. If they include the advanced suit in that game as a cosmetic, it's over for me. It's a wrap. I'm going to have to spend as much money as they want me to spend for that costume, and I will not gladly do it, but I will do it just because I have to wear that suit, no matter what.
Oh my God!
Although it's insane. I think we can all agree it's insane that you have to spend real life money on takedowns for the game. Like emotes I get, skins I get, nameplates I get. Even if you want to do some gear, maybe you can get, but you can unlock the gear just by playing the game, which is fine. But takedowns? That's like an intricate part of like the game's combat design to actually play the game and a character to their max capability. Like, what if you had a finisher animation from this Spider-Man game, where Spider-Man does that kind of punch move in the air and then he bounces off of them? What if you have to pay for that? Like, that's insane. So takedowns should never be something that you have to like pay for. That makes no sense. Emotes, nameplates, and skins are fine. That makes sense to me. Expansions are free, which is great, but takedowns? That's where I'm like, really? That's a weird choice.
And considering the fact that Black Panther is shipped with only one takedown animation instead of two.
Yes, that suplex he does, and that's it. Like, what? Why? Like,
I know at least every character has at least like two, but Black Panther only has one.
Right. I know, like, each character, like, at the very least, give them two. Exactly. At the very least, give each character two. And if you really want to do, like, the excessive takedowns, fine. But no, like, one takedown, and that's it. And the other ones you have to pay for? Like, come on. That's...
No, bro. That's just sad.
All right, guys, so I think I've... Oh, wait, sorry, go Ghosty.
Yeah, it's just so sad how like they're literally charging people just for one freaking animation takedown, and you have to pay money, real money with that. Like, it's just sad, and for all the characters,
because it's a live service game, and they lost $70 million, so they need to make their money back. But still, it's like at the same time, you know what would make your money back? If you just made a good game. If you made a good game, then people would pay for the game at full price, no matter how much money you would have to do for it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. But anyways, guys, I think we've streamed long enough. I'm pretty sure. Yes, we've definitely streamed long enough. We've done a lot of the cutscenes. We played a lot of the main missions. We played mainly in both of the MCU suits, so you can't flaunt me for not hyping up the game or the movie while the whole time playing the game I'm wearing the MCU suit. So, both the Homecoming and the upgrade suit. So, with all that said, everyone, definitely expect a trailer reaction of sorts from me later. I mean, I've already watched the leaked trailer, as I've said, but if they reveal it later tonight, then I will record my reaction, talk about what they'll show, and just, again, everything I said here, I'll pretty much do really quickly to say in that video at the very beginning, just to say, like, hey, guys, I love Spider-Man. I love Tom Holland as an actor, but if this movie's bad, then I'm not going to be, too, like, what's the word? Like, too, not excited, but just like...
That's what you were going to say, right?
Like...
Invested. Like, if it's not good, like, well-structured, I'm not going to be invested in the story that they're telling without it being completely cohesive with Spider-Man's story, with Tom Holland's narrative, with the multiverse actually making sense, and just said, like, being there to provide a good narrative for Peter and his arc, becoming Spider-Man for the third time, supposedly. But with other Spider-Men there, then just do it right, and then I think we could get off to a good start with how this movie could shape up by the time it releases with its December release, because it's still planned to hopefully release this December if it doesn't get delayed due to COVID. But fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And Andrew, I know you guys can't hear Andrew sadly, but Andrew's excited, Ghosty's excited, and Franco's all excited. They're all very pumped to see the movie. Again, all we want is that we just hope the movie's good. That's all.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys can understand that. And we're being as respectful as we can to the actors and writers and directors and producers and co-producers, everyone involved in the movie. We respect, we appreciate making a movie nowadays, given the current world situation that we're in, is not easy in the slightest. So we're not flanking them. We just want the experience to live up to its max potential, deliver all three Spideys justice, because we know for a fact they're most likely in this movie, but mainly do Tom justice because this is his film. Just like Miles Morales was done justice in Into the Spider-Verse, because Miles was the main star of Spider-Verse, and Tom should be the main star of No Way Home. So we hope it's good. Hopefully you guys understand that. Hopefully I've been very, proper and cohesive with how I'm providing my arguments and just statements about the matter. But for the most part, I appreciate all you people being in the stream with me and the Spidey Squad, hanging out. We're excited for No Way Home. We want it to be good. We're just kind of skeptical about certain points of it, but if that trailer is great when it's officially released and we want to see a whole new multiversal adventure with Peter Parker and the other Spideys teaming up in a great time, then perfect. It'll be fun, and it'll be a great way to spend your time by the time it releases in theaters. Funny enough, that would probably be the first. I guess maybe I might also do it for Venom Let There Be Carnage. But that'll be the first movie I've really seen in theaters since Ford versus Ferrari, which was the last movie I saw in theaters back in 2019. So it's been a while. So that was I haven't seen a movie as of late in theaters as what I would like to. But
for me, it was the Sonic movie. That was the last movie I ever saw in
God,
theaters.
go see the Sonic movie in theaters, bro.
And then the first movie I saw after COVID was Wonder Woman 1984, which was not a good comeback, but well, that's like I guess. But anyways,
ta-da. And now hopefully this was also a fun way to spend your guys' time who are waiting for the trailer to drop. Hopefully we're able to keep you guys entertained if you have nothing going on a Monday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. Hopefully we're able to kind of entertain you guys and also just kind of give you all our perspective about where we land with the movie and kind of hopefully provide some analytical points that kind of put things into a better view about how we want the movie to turn out. Not having any unrealistic expectations, of course, but just what we know from the movie and what we want it to do based on the information we've been given. So if they can do that and pull it off, then by all means, thumbs up. But
okay. Anyways, before we finish the stream, because we don't want this to be another 5-hour stream like the last one that
my God.
did.
Let me tell you, the amount of release I had to do in the restroom after doing that stream for 5+ hours without going anywhere. Wow, that was an experience. I'm kidding.
But
but this one was not as bad.
But before we finish the stream, any last thoughts? Before the No Way Home trailer officially comes out. Any final thoughts before we end the stream?
I think I've said all I have to say. I mean, I know Spider-Man Twitter is going to hate me regardless, so I'll leave it at that. No, I'm kidding. So Andrew's giving his final thoughts, you guys, if you can't hear Andrew. Yes. Right. So any who can't hear Andrew, he's just saying he loves Spider-Man, and we want all this. Every one of us, Ghosty, Franco, and all you guys in the stream want the movie to be good. No one in their right mind wants a movie or a game for Spider-Man to be bad. Right? I never went into Far From Home saying this movie is gonna suck and I can't wait for this movie to bomb. No, I want it to be good, but based on the footage I saw from the trailers, I was not convinced it was gonna be a good movie. And from what I saw, I can double down on that and saying it was not a good movie in my eyes. But again, that's how I viewed it as a person. So with that in mind, even though we've already seen the leaked trailer for No Way Home, we still don't know what the official trailer looks like from a finished developed perspective with the visuals and seeing it in HD for a core Spider-Man movie, right? So we need to see it for ourselves, and really we can't completely judge it, just like I was not able to completely judge Peter's character model until I played the remaster for myself. But at the same time, that's the kind of a good comparison is I saw the footage that they showed of the cutscene with Ben Jordan and the video footage I saw of it on YouTube, and I wasn't really convinced with this being a good change for Peter, and I still feel that way. But I did feel a difference when playing the remaster for myself and say, you know what? I did get used to him over time. I still have a preference, though, with John as Peter, right? So I will have an opinion about the trailer, and same with Andrew and Ghosty and Franco once we see the trailer and say, you know what? This looks really good or really concerning for a face value look at the movie. But we can't completely judge it and deem it good or bad objectively or subjectively from your own opinion until we see the movie for ourselves. So that's where we stand right now. That's where we've always been thinking as fans. Hopefully you guys, which I love every single one of you, understand that. I had a wonderful time streaming more of this game for you guys with Tom Holland suits to just kind of... Notice, by the way, that whole time, so you can't flank me on this, I never streamed in Toby's suit or Andrew's suit. I only streamed in Tom's suits. So I'm double downing on advocating for Tom to do good. So I never let me play as Toby because that's great. No, I only played that entire time as Tom Holland's suits, the Stark suit and the upgrade suit, because I love Tom as an actor. As Peter, I think he does a great job. And the writing, I just feel like it's not consistent in some of his own standalone solo Spider-Man movies. But I mainly blame, again, the writers and John Watts for not building a cohesive narrative that really develops and thrives Spider-Man's character with the duality of Peter and making it feel like it's a scenario that you really feel like there's stakes to, right? So I'm hoping that can be changed in this movie with No Way Home, and if they do some One More Day stuff, but better, then by all means, great. That's the movie we're getting. Yeah. We're not going to get a solo Spidey outing, that I personally wanted to see. We're getting a multiverse film. We're getting Toby. We're getting Andrew. We're getting Otto, Alfred Molina Otto. We're getting Willem Dafoe Norman. We're getting these villains, Jamie Foxx Electro too, possibly Daredevil. We never even mentioned him, but he could be in the movie as well. And if it all works, if it comes together well and actually pulls it off, then by all means, we're going to have a great time. But right now, I'm going in, and I probably will say this, by the way, during my reaction video to record it, I'm going in with this as a critic first and a fan second. Because, of course, the fan of me saying, oh, my God, Tom and Andrew and Toby together is so cool no matter what. It's awesome. It's perfect, great, because we all love their characters,
I'm going to be a critic.
And but you have to look, exactly, you have to, does this serve the story in a way that makes sense? Does this help the narrative they're telling, and does this do Tom's Spider-Man justice in a way that serves his story cohesively and concrete in a way that actually delivers a logical conclusion to this trilogy of films? Because this is a trilogy, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, and this is kind of the cap-off of where he's going, but then, of course, we might get more movies from him down the line, but we'll have to wait and see. But with all that said, everyone, I think I made my point. Hopefully I was respectful enough to make you guys kind of understand that. All you are incredible. I love each and every one of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Also, critique. Leave some criticisms in the comments if you're also new as well, or you are old. An older fan of the channel and are aware of my viewpoints of the movie. I'd love to hear your feedback, your criticisms, your overall honesty, genuine, caring thoughts about this character that we all love and we all hope can be done justice on the big screen. So with all that said, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you to Andrew, Ghosty, and Franco Greco for joining me on this stream again as my Spidey Squad crew, the GOATs, because they're great, and all you guys for tuning in are amazing. See you guys soon. Once the trailer releases, we'll react to it and give my thoughts there. And also, in the future, I'll try and do more videos, by the way, of Spider-Man PS5 stuff with some footage of the game while we're waiting for other things in the community as Spider-Man fans, because mainly with the movie, I'll probably just react to the trailer once it's officially out, and if there's more to talk about in the trailer that was not shown in the leak, I might talk about in another stream, but for now, it might just be this stream, react to the trailer, and then wait until the movie comes out to actually review it for myself. So until then, again, thank you all so much for watching. Stay spectacular, Spidey fans, and peace out.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.